Hello, babes. Hello. This is the first time I've spoken today. Can you tell? Gunk in my throat. Anyway, is everybody present? Okay, yes. Microphone is here. No lefty audio today, at least. Let me get these situated. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So many things. So many details. Gotta get all the details right. Yeah, hello. It's been so long, Gayfish. Yeah. Oh my God. I haven't seen you in forever. What's up? Oh my gosh, there's so many people hanging out in the YouTube chat right now. Aubrey, we got a Nancy. There's Dark Canuck. Hello. What's up, Raven? There's Nikki Star. Brandy. Hello. Are you going to get into the mic again? I mean, I can always get inside the mic. Any opportunity. Yeah, I'm here. Is attendance part of our grade? It's 10% of your grade. 10%. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is for everybody. How are we today? Yesterday was a very busy day. I apologize if you're one of those kinds of people who get annoyed by a lot of Discord pings, but we had our Pride event yesterday, and I wasn't there the entire day. I was only there for like a smattering of a couple different parts of the event. So we had a panel initially about like disability and queerness, the intersection there, and we had a panel that was more about general like politics. There was also a queer people of color panel. Of course, I was not on that one. And then later on, we did some games. We played Scribble, which was fun. Got dumped 2 hours ago. No! Oh, mama, that sucks. Oh, I hope that you get to feeling better about that relatively soon. That's a fucking bummer. Breakups. You know, my tarot just told me a couple days ago that I was going to have to deal with the fallout from a breakup. So maybe it's you. Sag, though. Otherwise, how's people's weekend going? I'm chilling. If you know how to cook with spices, you're invited to the cookout. Yo, speaking of cooking with spices on Hansi, by the way, everybody, this is the first hour of my stream. We usually kind of chill for the first hour, and then we'll talk about the politics stuff later. We'll shitpost, we'll laugh. It'll be a good time. Right now, we're just chilling. So hit like, even if you're not going to hang out with us for the hanging out part of the stream. Hit like, and then go away, and then we'll be good. But yeah, so speaking of cooking with spices, I recently started making like masala. Like I made chana masala, which is like chickpea curry basically. Recently I made some of that, and then I used a completely different spice blend to make chicken masala, like chicken garam masala, and that was delicious also. It's kind of cool how I just had, bought a couple things of spices that I didn't already have. Sisukara. Oh my God. I mean, cool. Right at the beginning of the stream, we're just going to hit the dono goal. We demand flexing right up top here. All right, let me drink my coffee, and then I'll objectify myself for you for a moment here. But yeah, no, I think it's great that you can make curry that's just totally different base flavors. And it's still basically curry, but it's like, yeah, it's like a totally different blend of tastes. Just gonna pull up to your place and take you to my family's cookout. If needed, I will steal you. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let me put my hair up first, because that's what I was gonna do. I was in the middle of putting my hair up. It's fucking greasy because it's hair washing day. I gotta do my hair washing routine tonight. It's like a multi-step process now. When you start taking care of your hair and skin, it's like a whole multi-step process. So let me just get this out of the way. Okay, I'm not wearing the best shirt for flexing, but I don't know. Let's just we'll roll them up. Let's roll them up. We'll do it that way. We'll do the butch lesbian look and roll up our sleeves. I had a histo on Friday, so I am recovery blob. Oh man, I hope that you are having an easy-ish time of the recovery. Histo doesn't tend to be too tough for people from what I understand. So hopefully for you, recovery goes quite easily. And just like that, I'm horny. I let the sun cook me like God intended. Truly. Did the 100 come through, or do I need to do something on your site? It came through, as far as I know. I haven't gotten the PayPal notification yet. Or did I? Did I? Yeah, I got it. It went through. I'm just rolling up my sleeves. I'm just rolling them up so that I can show off the guns a little bit more easily. Okay, skincare can feel lengthy and requires lots of battery/fuel to do all of it. Also, like, skincare is like expensive also. Oh yeah, hold on, back of the arms. Let's do this. Like, back of my arms are starting to get a little bit more defined. Ooh. Oh my goodness. The angles, my lord. I'm starting to do more like push-up type stuff, so... Ugh. PayPal said I should do something on your site. It didn't do anything fucked up for me, so it came through just fine. Roll this one back up a little bit. Oh, the sleeve doesn't want to stay. I come here just for the gun show. Well, I don't want to disappoint. Honestly, I've always thought that my left arm is like a little bit more impressive than my right arm for some reason. Dang, girl. Ding. Ding. Anyway, thank you for the dono. Yes, hello, Raymond. Welcome in. Skincare can be expensive, but you can do it quite cheaply as well. What do you do if... Okay, I don't think you can see because of how bright my photography light is, but, like, I have very dry skin. Like, I have red marks and, like, irritation and, like, flakiness. Like, you see all these little tiny red bumps? That's all, like, actual skin irritation and flakiness, and I don't know what to do. Like... I'm thinking I might get like a Cetaphil brand, like a Cetaphil brand daily cleanser / moisturizer. I just don't know what to do. I think I caught what you said. Oh, I have like my skin flakes and like is so dry and irritated that I have little red bumps all over my face. So yeah, I am unable to figure out what kind of product I should use. Halo Ben says, all you need is cleanser and a daily SPF 30 moisturizer. Use a gel-like moisturizer in the winter. I mean, yeah, I don't really go outside a whole ton, and my desk is not immediately next to a window, so I think that... I just think that I don't really need a lot of SPF. But, yeah, it's like, I just don't know what to do with how dry my skin is. I only use Eucerin to clean my face, so... Anyway, might move to NYC since sex work might be decriminalized there, and that is a good thing. Honestly, I mean, I know a lot of people do online sex work because it's just, like, safer. But if you really want to do in-person sex work, then yeah, going somewhere where it's legal is definitely going to be safer for you. Good Molecules at Ulta has been really good for me, personally, and is hella cheap compared to other brands I've tried. Also have red bumps and flaky on top of acne. Okay. Thank you for the rec, Space Boy. From Ulta. I thought Ulta was really expensive. Humans are asymmetrical in minute ways. For example, I can touch my hands behind my back if I do right hand over shoulder and left hand under, but not the other way around. So your left arm could legit just be better. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I can't... You know what? I actually have started to have a little bit of difficulty reaching. Because when your muscles start to get bigger... Like, I think that your flexibility goes down, you know? Like, those big men with, like, the giant traps, they're like, and they can't do it. Like, they'll do a little challenge where someone, like, slaps a piece of paper right in the center of their back, and they're like, you gotta remove the piece of paper, it says you're an idiot, or whatever, and they're like, I literally can't reach past here. I've started to have a little bit of that, but I can still reach on both sides. So, that's fun. Is anybody else doing an exercise routine that they're enjoying lately? I'm doing bodyweight exercises right now. It's why football players and bodybuilders do yoga and ballet. Keeps flexible. Yeah, I gotta get back into yoga too. I do it a little bit sometimes, but not nearly as much as I should do. I have my yoga mat, like, out right next to my bed right now. So I was like, what if I woke up in the morning and stretched, and then maybe did another stretch before bed? But I am terrible at having routines. Have we talked about the Nazi getting punched yet? No, Ray, I did not hear about this. What about a Nazi getting punched? Because I know about the event in the UK. Both CeraVe and Neutrogena are good skincare brands. I don't like to use Neutrogena because it's by Johnson & Johnson, and Johnson & Johnson, like, regularly have lawsuits against them. So I just, like, yeah, CeraVe has recently changed in quality as well, according to a lot of people online. But yeah, I have tried CeraVe before. I routinely pick up and put a wine glass down at different weights. True. I do the same thing with coffee. Welcome to the website, Obsis. I have a super physical job. Only way I stay in shape. Yeah, my partner has a super physical job, and it helps him stay in shape. Not like cardio-wise. I think that we both should do more cardio. I think that everybody should do more cardio. Oh, that's annoying, Sisukara. Getting random misgendering at the fucking CVS. I don't think that anyone should get anything from CVS. I hear so many bad things about their pharmacy. It's stupid. Hey, there's 45 people in here. We're kind of just chilling right now. We'll get into the serious news in a little bit, but we're kind of just chilling right now. If you don't want to hang out for the just chilling part, that's fine. Hit like before you go. If you are enjoying hanging out, of course, hit like. It immediately helps the stream. I think it would be fantastic if my streams where I'm just chilling get a decent number of views as well, but I know that a lot of the times people are here specifically for the rigorous, highly intellectual skepticism that we apply when we actually read the laws and talk about the news. Like, yeah, I know, I get it. Listen, it's what people want from my streams is hard-hitting political analysis. I had a Karen and a Susan racially profile me at the CVS I used to live near. Ugh. CVS's and Walgreens both. Skincare stuff from Inky List. Inky List? I love that because I am imagining that their logo has something to do with, like, octopi. Does it have something to do with octopi? Because that would make me happy. I'm slamming down comfort food today. Yeah, I think that that's fair. I think it's okay for you to be a little bit erratic and use different methods of self-soothing. I deep cleaned my kitchen. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do sometimes when you have all that negative energy. Being trans has really changed the relationship I have with my body. Yeah, this is the flesh bob that I'm navigating the world in, so I want to make it something that makes me actually happy if I can. And if that means cardio, then that means cardio. It's like, you know, you gotta be able to handle stairs. Inky List, it's all vegan. In-key list, not inky, in-key. But yeah, I mean, I want to be healthy, and I want to be able to do stuff. And it's not just that I want to be able to do stuff, it's that I want to do stuff for the first time in my life, which is crazy. Like, I've spent so much of my life just being like, wanting things is expensive, like, and you shouldn't want things. And now, like, I want to go hiking. I want to be the kind of person who goes hiking. Like, right now, I have the insane urge to buy a bicycle, and, like, I've owned bicycles at previous times in my life, but I'm like, I don't need a bicycle. I have a car. And, like, the place where I live is, like, moderately bike-friendly, but not, like, a lot. Like, there is mostly the expectation that you just drive on the road, and that's terrifying to me, because in my personal opinion, I think that driving has gotten more erratic in the past couple of years. Like, I witness a lot more erratic driving than it seems like I used to. We have sound, Nikki. That's on your end, babe. So, yeah, I like really want to be... Yeah, exactly, Riley, you're feeling me. I want a bike, and I want to be the person who goes hiking. Yeah, like, I'm gonna be getting custody of my younger siblings later this year, and I love the idea of going on, like, a camping trip to, like, Colorado. I'm like, we're doing geography with them, like making sure that they know all of the like capitals and the state abbreviations and stuff like that. And I realized that they don't really have a great frame of reference for where stuff is in the country because they haven't really traveled that much. By the time I was 15, like, which is when I moved out, I was already, like, I had traveled to Colorado because my grandparents lived there, and I traveled to Florida because, like, some other family members lived down there at one point. I've been to Tennessee for a wedding, and I've been to Texas for, like, a vacation at one point, and, like, Arkansas because I had family there. So, like, I've been to a number of different states because I got family all over the place. But my siblings, a lot of their family, because, like, all those people are on my mom's side. So on my dad's side, where my siblings are related to me, they just don't have as much opportunity to travel. And so I'm becoming that person where I love the idea of going places and I could bring them. It's like, oh yeah, if we found some place to go camping in Colorado, that would be cool. Like, it would be nice to take a long road trip. You've been to Texas, my condolences. Yeah, it was, I got bit by fire ants, like, the first day that I was there in Texas. So that was grand. Spectacular. I'm in Denver and the Rockies are right there, but I'm so poor right now. Yeah, like, if I just, like, have a tent right now because I am borrowing one from my dad. So if I didn't have that tent, I probably wouldn't have this openness to the idea of going in camping because I would be like, well, shit, I gotta find a fucking tent. Although I'm at a point in my life now where I'm like, okay, I have the freedom to go to garage sales, and I absolutely will take advantage of that. I saw a cool tarantula on the trail yesterday. Ooh, that sounds fun. Tarantula. It's weird how often in Kansas you see scorpions nowadays. It's like, I almost wonder if people are releasing them on purpose. Because that's spooky and scary. There are like 50 people in here. Y'all should hit like really quick. It's super easy. It's fast. It immediately helps the stream. Even if you don't end up sticking around to hang out with us, it helps immensely. In all seriousness, there are a lot of lifestyle things you can do. I picked a home that was 4 blocks away from my grocery store, and I walk. I garden and take care of plants, and I do some carpentry on the side, plus I raise trees in my half-acre. Moving soil is hard work. Yeah, no shit. If I hit like twice, does that help double? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there are, like, so many different things. I've been journaling and doing tarot lately, so I am engaging in some hobbies. But, like, the other trouble is about... Okay, that's cute. Listen, look at this cutie Okay, spoiler, spiders, look away really quick. I'm not going to show up for very long, but look away if you don't like spiders. That's a tarantula. Look at it. It's a cutie pie. Okay, now it's gone. And I won't bring it back. You're safe now. My dear arachnophobic viewers. Big leggy boy. But the thing about the weather is that it's like 90 degrees all the time right now where I live. It's like, am I gonna go ride my bicycle in 90 fucking degree weather? I really don't think so. Am I gonna wake up at 8 a.m.? Like, also, I don't love the traffic situation in a lot of the, like, in the area where I live necessarily. And it's like, okay, so am I gonna get a bike rack for my car so that I can then take my bike to a place where I, like, to take it to a trail, for example, if I want to be, like, a trail bike rider person. So there's, like, a lot of practical limitations that I'm trying to integrate those into my mind as I just desperately really want a bicycle, but I'm trying to figure out, like, is that realistic for me? Yeah, too bad we can't have walkable cities. There are places near where I live, or, like, in the general area where I live, where there are paths that are quite wide next to roads, but they're next to, like, roads that are practically highways. So why would you don't want to walk next to a road where people are going 50 miles an hour, like 50, 55 miles an hour, because if they go off the road, like, then it's a more immediate danger to you. It's like a sensory issue as well, all the noise and the wind right next to the road. So, like, yeah, I don't want to, even if you have, like, a walkable or even a rideable path, If it's right next to a gigantic roadway, I don't want to fucking go on there. Yeah, just walk 50 miles per hour. That's a skill issue. Skill issue. Yeah, my bad. I forgot. I go hike as soon as the park's open at 7, and then by then it's already 77 degrees. I'm carrying twice the water I did in the spring or winter. Yeah, like, I wake up in the morning, and it's 80 degrees, and I'm like, all right, shit, Jesus Christ. There's a hilly creek by my apartments, but it's completely unpracticable in the winter unless you have proper gear. Yeah. The identity thing, if you say, I am a hiker, it's more likely that you will go hiking than, quote, a person who goes hiking, which implies it's something you aren't. It's the same reason AAA tells people they have to say they are alcoholics as AA, yeah, Alcoholics Anonymous, say that they're alcoholics as the first step of them addressing their dependency. Okay, that's interesting. I hadn't really thought of that before, because, yeah, and it's possible that I actually fuck myself over in this way if that's true, like if that's been substantiated in studies, because, you know, when people ask me like, oh, what instruments do you play? When I talk about like, oh, I'm learning such and such instrument, people are like, what instruments do you play? And I go, well, I can't really play very many instruments in the sense that I can just pick them up and play something on them and use the instrument. I have plenty of instruments that I can use, which is to say that I can pick them up and play a couple of songs on them and maybe figure out some scales, but I can't like just play them intuitively. And I'm realizing that maybe that's screwing me over. Like maybe if I were to think of myself as like I am a piano player instead of like I am trying to teach myself piano or like I am learning piano, maybe that person first assertion would make it a little bit easier. Because that's one thing that I'm doing on a very regular basis right now is basically every day I play my piano for at least like 5 minutes, you know? And I was really considering getting a piano off of Facebook Marketplace yesterday, and I was doing like 20 minutes of research on the model that it was and trying to figure out if it had weighted keys or not, and it did not have weighted keys. If anybody has a weighted keyboard that they're trying to get rid of, hit me up because I want one badly. Or if you have a bicycle you're trying to get rid of, well, let's determine if it fits me and I will buy it off of you. One trick is to set a time that you're going to hike if you want to go hiking, for instance, and then get dressed and go out for a very short time, like 1 minute, in order to set it as a habit until you are comfortable thinking of yourself that way. Honestly, the I am an artist trick does me zero good. I feel like I'm bullshitting myself. I guess that's fair. Am I late for the news? No, Veronica. We usually do our chill for an hour at the beginning of the stream thing, and I am only about 30 minutes into stream right now, so we'll be talking about the news in a little bit. We also have some shit posting to do today, but yeah, right now we're just talking about like hobbies and hiking, and I have a weighted key electric piano, but it's mine, and it's too expensive to ship. Yeah, if someone lives in Kansas or Missouri, and you want to give me or sell me your keyboard, this makes me think of the dichotomy with sexuality, like the whole I am homosexual, bisexual, heterosexual feels prescriptive. Like, why can't I just be a person who has done a gay sex or a heterosex or whatever? I wouldn't identify myself as a oh my god, what? As a gummy wormule. I just like gummy worms sometimes, but that feels suspiciously close to hate the sinner, not the sin. LGBT phobia that tries to separate actions from identity. It's weird. I have a weighted keyboard, but you cannot have it. No! Why? I imagine it's because you use it. Yeah, that is interesting. Like, that maybe it feels like you can't do other stuff if you identify yourself as something that is... Well, because that's the thing about, like, saying, if you say I'm homosexual, it's, like, not only a statement about what you do, it's also a statement about what you don't do, right? So I can see that being a little bit more difficult or intrusive on you than saying, if you say, I'm a pianist, me being a pianist doesn't mean that I'm not also a guitar player, because I also play guitar. But, like, if there was a word for pianist that meant I am only that, I only play piano, then, you know, I could see that feeling restrictive on other aspects of, like, what other instruments I would play, you know? I want to learn to play piano. I've been making experimental music on my phone. I made a remix of people talking about me on the internet / YouTube. That's pretty awesome. I just say I'm a musician. Yeah, and that's like even more inclusive. Yes, I'm playing, yes, pianist. Pianist. I am a pianist who likes to masticate. I'm a cunning linguist. Anyway, we have fun here. We have fun. Oh, Riley, I saw you ask earlier, are you a secular tarot reader? Yeah, I am. I journal, so, like, I go in, I have my, like, journal and I write some amount of, like, what I'm thinking and feeling, and then I pull one tarot card, usually, like, one tarot card each day. Yesterday was the first day I've missed since I started doing it. So one tarot card each day, and then I, like, write down what it says from my book about that tarot card, and then I go, and then I, like, reflect on it and go, like, oh, this could refer to this, like, this could help me find clarity on this. It's not, like, supernatural, though, you know? I'm just like, oh, okay. You know, it's like, if you do a reading, and you're like, I'm thinking about this subject, and then the cards tell you the opposite of what you want to hear, it just helps you clarify what you wanted out of that, you know? If your tarot is like, you should get ready for a breakup soon, and you're like, but I want to be in the relationship that I'm in, and I don't want to get ready for a breakup soon, then it kind of, like, clarifies how you feel about your relationship, right? Did you see the debate with Keffels and Spanky Tanky? I think I saw a clip, Halo. Are you talking about the one where he kept just saying TOS, like, in the place of a slur? He was like, he just kept, like, telling her to shut the fuck up and calling her TOS, basically. I did see the clip of that. Would you ever consider a folding bicycle? I don't know anything about folding bicycles. Are they safe? Folding bicycle? I mean, that might be useful for if I'm gonna, like, go with my bike to a place. If there are folding bicycles that have wide enough tires that they can go on, like, hard-packed dirt trails, that would be great. Yeah, don't worry, Lux. It seems I took the breakup bullet for you. It was not an act of sacrifice. Please give me back my boyfriend. I don't have control. It's a soft magic system. I don't know, you know? It's a soft magic system. I don't have any control over it. I use coin flips for the same thing. It's not about the coin. It's about how I feel about the result. It's a good system. Absolutely. Yeah, your TOS ADHD porn-addled brain. Oh my god. Hi, Emma. Hello. Yeah, I use tarot cards as tools to help me reflect and focus, and it's really nice to hear others using it similarly, and it makes me feel less silly about it. Listen, I like to engage in a little bit of silliness, okay? That's the thing, is that I think it's okay to be cringe. I like being cringe a little bit. I have, like, an altar. I decided that part of what the problem is with me not wanting to do dishes in my kitchen is that there isn't enough good decorations in there. So I took my wreath, like, I have a seasonal wreath that, like, I mean, it's a plain wreath, and I just swap things out through the seasons, right? So instead of having, like, a Christmas wreath and a Halloween one, I just have one blank one that I just switch the accessories on. And I moved it out of, like, basically, like, my bathroom hallway, basically. I moved it out of one area and into my kitchen, so that I could, like, feel like I had something in there that I wanted to look at. And it's like, okay, well, I'm thinking about the solstice, and I'm decorating for my paganism shit. Like, ideally, my whole home decor will shift with the seasons in that way, where it's, like, corresponding to the pagan holidays and the equinoxes and stuff. I have plant pots in my kitchen, but no plants. Maybe I should get some. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're gonna have to have... If there's no window in there, you'll have to have plant lights in your kitchen, and so that's just up to you, but... It feels weird to me that this is the last weekend in June. Pride is almost over, y'all! Pride is almost over! Oh, what's up, Hylian? I feel like folding bikes could fall apart mid-ride, especially if weather has rusted it. Yeah, that's what I mean. I've been, like, I'm a little bit concerned about a folding bike, especially if I were to try to go trail biking. I don't want to, like, break my collarbone falling off of my bicycle onto a rock or something, you know what I mean? I've been learning how to pick locks, and bike locks are literal snake oil / security theater that are worse than useless against theft. Store your bikes in secure locations and not just using a lock to protect it. I would probably go, if I was trying to figure out what bike lock to use or if I should use a bike lock, I would go to the lockpicking lawyer, who maybe, is that who you were watching to learn how to pick locks? Soft magic system is how I'm going to describe my sexuality from now on. You are welcome. I'm trying to go once a week for a 10-block walk, and I tell myself I am a walker each time to try to ingrain it as a habit I stay consistent on. The same way I try to set time for art and programming to try and reinforce those into regular habits and a part of my identity instead of activities I do sparingly and thus with zero consistency. Oh yeah, hello Max, hello, I saw you earlier and I just like forgot to say hello. Hi! Yeah. I want to use tarot cards as ominous warnings for my D&D players, but I haven't got the occasion yet. Yes, I did see that, Gayfesh. I've been talking to Alora a little bit about Demon Mama's Signal Night tonight, and I actually have the Google Doc open on my computer, and there's a Google form where you're supposed to be able to, like, put in a request to be on the schedule, and that form is not accepting responses right now, so I'm waiting for the ping from the Discord server, I guess, or for Demon Mama to tweet about it to indicate that the form is open. But I would love to talk to her. I haven't spoken to her in a while. I don't know, what is it gonna be like, choosing the topic, or is it gonna be like a panels thing where we have like several creators on at the same time because the point is that we're connecting with other creators? I don't know. I'm open to whatever. I love having an opportunity to collab with folks. I played a Fantasy Wild West RPG once where instead of dice, you used playing cards for all of your rolls. Ooh, that sounds fun. Rudy Dog says, I'm about to be relying on biking as a main way of transport for the next year. That's exciting. Ooh, I mean, it's like, oh, it's such good cardio, and you're out and you're breathing the air, but it's sunny and you gotta do skincare. I've started doing tarot on cam. That's fun. We do tarot sometimes on stream. I'm considering having it be like a closing segment every stream, perhaps, where we just do like a one-card draw. I don't know. I just want to have fun, okay? I just want to enjoy myself. Yeah, are folding bicycle okay on trails? They can be used in a limited number of off-road conditions. Foldable mountain bikes are best for rough dirt tracks. They can cope with gravel, grass, cobblestones, and towpaths, but they won't be able to handle rough dirt tracks with obstacles like rocks or tree roots. Okay. So like a walking trail that's like an easy walking trail, a packed walking trail, could be good for a folding bike. Yeah, it's interesting. They don't have a suspension system. Okay, that's an interesting... I'm just, like, reading about folding bikes really quick. They're probably gonna be more expensive, wouldn't they? Folding bikes? What's the name of your deck? Hold on, let me get it. I don't know what it's called. It's called Star Spinner. Star Spinner Tarot. That's my... It has like 4 different lovers cards, and you're supposed to use one and take out the other 3, because they have like different homosexual options. Quite nice. Did not know death was an emoji. Yes, death is an emoji. I thought that it was supposed to be like death. Yeah, it's capital death. Riley, are you me? Do people watch tarot streams? On TikTok, I've seen people do live streams of tarot on TikTok, but I don't know about YouTube. I feel like when I start talking too much about the weird pagan shit that I do, people get weird and they don't like it, which is fine. Every movie/TV series ever. I'm the spooky divination lady, and these are tarot cards, and I just drew a death card. Boo. I mean, death is not even a bad card. Death just means change in a tarot deck. So, happy Pride weekend. Happy Pride, Monica. You should get my tarot deck. What's your tarot deck, Paint? Does yours have a little guidebook with it, or is it just the tarot deck? because I'm still reliant on the on the book. I right now, the reason why I'm doing a 1 draw daily thing is because I'm trying to learn the cards. Because right now I don't actually know most of the cards. So I have my little book, and I'm like, what is the Page of Wands? What does it mean? Tell me. So I'm still like learning the cards a bit. And I also found that like different decks say different things. My brother has a deck that's more like, my brother's deck is more, I mean, it's like black and white, and it's a little bit more occulty and weird. You can always just make it up. True. I just like having some kind of a like internally consistent system that I can refer to, so that it's not simply up to me making it up. It's not like, I don't want to be fucking Dr. Manhattan in here, just like, source, I made it up. You know, that's not what I'm here for. I want to make a tarot deck, but that's a huge project. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking like 78 cards or something. Like 78 cards, each with unique artwork, like with an internally consistent theme. But yeah, my brother's deck like says different stuff in the book. I have a bunch of mini guides. It's called the Patella Tarot. It's named after disability queerness, or it's themed after disability queerness and neurodivergence. That's cool. I like that. I don't have a lot of expendable income at the moment, but I am interested in potentially having more tarot decks. I mean, I just need the one to start with to kind of get a habit of it and be like, ooh, is this something I like? This is a little kooky. Do I enjoy this? Cool article about the pluses and minuses of bike locks. TLDR, most of them are useless. So, yeah, so what do you, do you not, how do you secure stuff to a bike rack on your car? My system of reference is me using myself as a metaphor. It took about a year to draw. Nice. I was very choosy between like 20 different decks that my friends recommended. I posted on Facebook, and I was like, does anybody have any tarot decks they would recommend? And I got probably like at least a dozen, if not like 20 recommendations. And I spent like more than a week looking through all of them and narrowing it down and deciding which one I wanted. And then actually my friend Silent got me this deck off of my wish list for like my birthday or maybe Christmas this year. I'm not sure which it was, but that was really sweet of her. And I love having tarot deck. It's quite nice. What about a regular chain and padlock? I mean, yeah, I guess that would be the way. You don't use locks for protection, only to secure them to a vehicle. Ideally, don't leave a bike unattended whenever possible. I mean, sure, yeah. It's print on demand currently, so it is an expensive endeavor. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, anytime you're getting something printed on demand, only one at a time, like, you know, you get the discounts for bulk purchases, right? I saw a Pride deck at the festival last week. I went back with cash and they were gone. Yeah, queer people are so witchy and weird. You have to get a thing installed on the car, like under the bumper usually. Then the bike rack goes on that. And most have a thing that comes out and you rest the bar of the bike on it. Then you secure the bike to that and secure the front wheel so it doesn't move while driving. Under the bumper, wouldn't that be for the like a car that has a flat back? I was thinking, because like my car doesn't have a flat booty. So I was thinking of something that on top of the car, right? Like on top of the passenger part of the car, you know? Anyway. Maybe we should shift a little bit and maybe start thinking about talking about the news. We've been on here for like most of an hour now. But yeah, we enjoy hanging out and having a little bit of fun and just being human beings for a little while at the beginning of stream. That's our goal at the beginning of stream, is to just feel like, wow, life is normal and we can just kind of talk and exist as human beings and not be worried about everything that's going on in the world. Politics, -0 out of 10. -0 out of 10. I don't want to go too hard on the politics today, TBH. We have some shit posting that I would like to do today. And we do have like the one serious story and like maybe a couple other sort of serious things we can talk about. But if we only spend like a little while talking about the news and then we go back to just fucking around and talking about whatever, that would be amazing. Oh, final result, by the way. For those of you who were around for virtual Pride yesterday, we ended up raising $1,030 in our big fundraiser yesterday. So there was a whole bunch of streamers and just folks in the community who came on and like chatted and played games and had fun throughout the whole day. And we ended up raising $1,030. According to Don't Ooh My Oh Woe, who is like basically the leader of the project. Thank you, John Get Bent. Real quick, Amy, who was the leader of the project, she said that each extraction, they go in and they save a person from Florida. Every time that they go and drive there and extract a person and house them temporarily and all that, it costs about $1,000. So we basically managed over the course of the day to raise enough money to extract one person from Florida or Texas or one of these other deeply regressive states and like relocating them to places like Washington or Pennsylvania or Minnesota, like places that are just safer. So thank you, everybody who was there to hang out, or if you shared the links, like, we appreciate it. But yes, thank you for the $6 dono, John Get Bent. Great job on the virtual Pride yesterday. I was lurking on and off for like 10 hours. It was a good mix of information and entertainment. Yes, I saw you in the chat numerous times. I appreciate you hanging out and like being an active participant in the chat as well. What's up, Anthony? I'm more into sidereal astrology since it feels more personally accurate to me than tropical astrology. Oh, I don't like astrology. That's like, I don't really get into that. It's not my bag, baby. Here, look at. I doubt we will, but if we get to another $100, and I will flex again. I will objectify myself for you. I'll even put on a different shirt if it makes it look better. Although I do feel you like the butch lesbian / trans mask rolling up the sleeves thing is not like a style that I was ever into, but it's like, what if I just stayed that way in the stream? And that can be the enticement. Like, ooh, I'll flex. Look at it. Riley, I think that you and I are just the same person. Like, I think that we just are the same human being. Anyhoozle. So yeah, we had a great time at Virtual Pride yesterday. I think it was quite a successful venture. Learning lockpicking as a side gig because people pay absurd amounts for lockpick services. Yeah, I didn't realize that you could unlock cars with a padlock service. So, with a lockpicking thing. So maybe it would be worth learning just in case I lock my own keys in my car, which I have done before. It's been a while. Like, it's been a few years since the last time I locked my keys in my car, but you never know. Someone else go, since I was looking at another window before. You could have just rewound the video, Sizukara, and I tried to flex for like at least 20-30 seconds. I try to keep it going. I do my best. Anyway, if you're here and you enjoy this stream, hit the like button real quick. We're probably going to go ahead and pivot and start talking about something now. At least one of us has some muscles. Listen, I work hard. I am a gym bro. Speaking of what Violet was saying earlier about identifying as the thing that you are. I am a bodybuilder at this point, a little bit. Like, I am a weightlifter. Woo, something. Right. We're talking about something. We'll do a something. Oh, boy. I want to shitpost. This sounds fun. I want to shitpost. I have done lockpicking before, Violet. I have picked a lock. My partner has... I think my partner got the official lockpicking lawyer set of lockpicks. And so we've played around with it. The lock that we've used it on is really kind of fucked up, though, from how much we've practiced on it. So might need to get a new lock to practice on. My old housemate is a locksmith by trade. Surprisingly, it's a cutthroat industry. I mean, I guess. It's like you gotta be the first one who's available, the first one on the scene. Yeah, you can rewind. Yeah. The rolled up sleeves remind me of band camp and the shouts of "Sun's out, guns out" going across the field. It just makes me think of like butch lesbians. That's pretty much the only thing I think of when I see the rolled up sleeves. I just think of like dykes, basically, in the most endearing way possible. Goodness gracious. I haven't actually watched this full video. What is the video about? It has Caitlyn Jenner in it. This is Lance Armstrong. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna talk about Lance Armstrong because of this very, very hilarious thing going on Twitter right now. Lockpicking seems like a fun puzzle hobby. Agree, yes. It does sound fun. I was joking, like, what if I taught myself lockpicking and then I became... It was before my partner got a lockpicking kit. A couple years back, we were walking around, like, a Michael's or other craft store like that. And we were... Like, we saw a lockpicking book. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I became even more of a rogue than you? Because he used to play a rogue in World of Warcraft. Monica says, I tried going to a gym a couple weeks ago and it's not my thing. Got advice for someone who just wants to stay fit, maybe a little bit toned at home. Yeah, this is the website that I am doing my calisthenics off of. I will just link it to you. Calisthenics are like body weight exercises, so you can do it at home. And these have like a lot of progressive weight. You can make it easier, you can make it harder. What if I became a locksmith to scare bigots? I didn't say that. You're twisting my words. Come on. Sometimes I think Lance Armstrong has to be a fake name. Yeah, like how did you get the name Armstrong? He must have been a really good fighter. The first guy who was gifted the name Armstrong. Yeah. I do calisthenics, y'all. When I'm not doing actual weightlifting, I'm doing calisthenics. Is it a bad twisting of words? How dare you? How dare you? I cannot believe you. So Lance Armstrong says, have we really come to a time and place where spirited debate is not only frowned upon, but feared? Where people's greatest concern is being fired, shamed, or canceled? As someone all too familiar with this phenomenon, I feel I'm uniquely positioned to have these conversations. I'll read the reader's added context thing after. I want to do this first. Oh, nope, no. It's at the wrong thing. Hold on. I keep forgetting that I switched my stuff around. Stop, please. And now I have to actively switch between headphones and speakers. Or I won't be able to hear my stuff. Boo. Armstrong? Was it one arm? I have some thoughts. I mean, if you're swinging a weapon, that's typically going to be one arm. How to stay motivated when I want big muscles but are running on E and T. Running on E and T is out of reach. I mean, I'm running on mostly E. Like, I'm so inconsistent with my shots that I'm basically not really functionally on testosterone, like, regularly right now. And I'm still building muscle, so it's just about learning how to get the muscles that you want. How to do hypertrophy. Anyway, okay, I got my headphones on. Now I got my headphones on and playing my song. Okay. Let's try this.
All right, so here we are on the PCH, headed out to Caitlyn Jenner's house.
That's Lance Armstrong, I think.
In and around trans and sport, I think.
I really hate the objectifying way that they talk about us. Trans in sport. Yes, eating enough is good also when you're trying to gain muscles.
You know, with sensitive conversations and topics like this, people tend to either, it really comes down to, they're really afraid to be fired, shamed, or canceled. Turns out I'm not that afraid of that. I think it's an important conversation, and you know, especially I think it can be handled in this way. But, and I also think the best way to have these conversations and get to a more to get to a smarter conclusion, or even have a smarter conversation, is just to go in fearless. And I'm sort of fearless on this one.
Yeah, of course you are. What a fucking cunt. Oh my god. What a dickweed. Hey, hit like if you haven't already hit like on the stream. Even if you're not gonna hang out. My doctor got really confused at my regimen. What's your workout regimen, Sisukara? Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. Oh wait, I'll get the good lighting here from. Hey, ready? There we go. Roll it.
Yeah, it takes a lot of arrogance to say, this is an important conversation. Clearly, I am the person to be having it. Like, I've decided to insert myself into this situation. Okay, yeah, so that's the end of the video. Yeah, so Lance Armstrong was not canceled after lying under oath and misleading official doping investigations for 13 years. He publicly confessed to using performance-enhancing drugs in 2013. But he continues, like, of all the controversial and polarizing subjects out there today, I'm not sure that there are any as heated as the topic of trans athletes in sport. Like, because you all will not shut the fuck up about it. It's not heated on our end. It's heated because you all are having a conniption fit over it. Over, like, grand total of, like, 100 athletes who are trans female over the entire world, you know? The entire world. Is there not a world in which we can be supportive of the transgender community and curious about the fairness of trans athletes in sport, yet not be labeled a transphobe or a bigot as we ask questions? Do we yet know the answers? And do we even want to know the answers? Yeah, thank God. Like, yeah, I don't want to hear from the man who was stripped of 7 championships for cheating. Like, I hope that, we've started a series. We're going to talk about this. Like, the fucking comments on this are so beautiful. Just like, is Lance Armstrong the biggest cheater in sporting history? Might want to sit out the fair play discussion, Lance. Damn, I didn't know HGH could do such a number on your memory. I mean, you do recall why those guys came along and took all those trophies and framed yellow jerseys off your walls, right? You do remember that, don't you, Lance? Literally everyone at the top is doping. They just shame the ones who get found out. Listen, Futurama, listen. Just dope as much as you can. Like, have a separate sports for the doping. And just dope as much as you want. Like, see, like, what can the human body be pushed to? Let's find out. HRT, not workout. Oh, E patches, then a small dose of T once a week because my energy was low. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. Everybody has a little bit of T and E in their bodies, especially if you have had orchiectomy. I would expect that you might want to take some low dose of testosterone to have both in your body, you know? I just want to have a discussion. I'm just asking questions. Yeah, this is how you know for sure that you're dealing with a transphobe. Let's just all play bowling or something. I mean, people love doing their sports, right? They love it. Yeah, Lance, you preaching about fairness in sports is rich. Rather than casting doubt through faux queries, let's create an inclusive field for all athletes. Trans athletes aren't looking for an edge, they're seeking a level playing field. Something you might not be too familiar with. Ah! Oh my god. Didn't you do steroids? Rhetorical. What kind of impact does that have on one's hormones? And why do you think anyone gives a shit what you think about sports anymore? Yo, yeah, I mean... Yeah, Lance, what do you mean by fairness? You mean like how it was fair for you to use performance-enhancing drugs while competing? I think you should sit this one out, buddy. You cheated. Sit this one out. I guess if we know what... I guess if we want someone who knows how to cheat at sports to discuss males cheating females at sports, then the cheater Lance is the one to go to. Let's hear how it is done, cheater. I think that person might be a transphobe, but they're still, like, making fun of Lance for this, which is fucking hilarious. Like, even if you are on our side, Lance, we don't want you to speak for us on this because you're a cheater and you'll discredit us. If you have an orchie, you will still have a small amount of T from your thyroid, I believe, same as AFAB individuals. I don't think that your thyroid directly makes any hormones. Does thyroid directly make, testosterone? Does it actually... The thyroid produces hormones that regulate metabolism, while the testes produce testosterone. Yeah, in female individuals, like people who are assigned female at birth, it's your ovaries create testosterone. Your ovaries create all of your sex hormones. Your testicles create all of your sex hormones. The thyroid regulates things, but it does not, like, create testosterone and estrogen. Those are, like, sex hormones that are created by your gonads. Yeah, damn, imagine being so shitty even the transphobes don't want you. Yeah, women have testosterone. Yeah, from WebMD. Ovaries produce testosterone and estrogen. Yeah, for sure. I think Lance Armstrong knows he's a complete disgrace and a joke, and this whole thing is just a way to grasp at some relevancy. They're just trying to make money. That's always what they're doing. These grifters are always trying to make money. They beaten yo ass in the QRTs. I haven't even looked at the quote retweets. Although, thank you, Gayfesh, for being the one who quote retweeted this into my timeline. That was pretty great. It was a vaginoplasty. You get some after, but it's much lower. Well, yes. I mean, you had an orchiectomy as a part of your total vaginoplasty, right? Like having the testicles removed. You didn't have only orchidectomy, but that was part of it. So, yeah, there's like just very little testosterone in your body afterwards unless you supplement it. Yeah, literally just using the fact that trans people are our popular topping point right now. Topping point. Smuggy! Last week I watched the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on the state of trans rights, and like 90% of the Republican line of questioning was about the threat of, quote, males in female spaces. I didn't even know that there was a Senate Judiciary Committee on the national level, Charlotte? Like, Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on trans people. No orky. I mean, so did you have like a preserving vaginoplasty? Like orchiectomy is one component of a vaginoplasty if you haven't already had an orchiectomy, you know? Show the shirt. You want to see my shirt? Oh, hold on, let me. Gay, straight, wibbly wobbly, sexy, wexy. It's a reference to Doctor Who. You forgot about the stress hormone cortisol? True. Loving what they ignore trans masculine people. I mean, of course they do. What was the committee meeting on trans? Yeah, okay, so there was on C-SPAN hearing on trans civil rights. I could watch that later. That's like my sexuality. I like chub. Wibbly wobbly sexy wexy. It's a Doctor Who reference. Because it's like wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Anyway. My rolled up sleeves are not working very well. They're not staying very well. Okay? Just, come on, calm down. A guy who cheated, then tried to ruin the lives of those who spoke truthfully about his role in the, quote, fairness of sports might not be the right mouthpiece for this discussion. Just a normal vaginoplasty, AFIAK, and orchi is not involved. Sisu, like, if you have your testicles removed, if you go to have vaginoplasty and your testicles get removed from your body during that process, you've had an orchiectomy at the same time as you had a vaginoplasty. Most of the time when people say orchiectomy, they are referring to, like, just having the testicles removed. But, like, if you get your testicles removed, that's like you had an orchiectomy and a vaginoplasty at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like when you get a hysterectomy, usually, like, the word hysterectomy specifically refers to having the uterus removed, but a lot of the time you also have an oophorectomy because that's like having the, like, ovaries removed. You can have an oophorectomy on its own, or it can be part of your hysterectomy surgery, you know? What, the Senate Judiciary Committee meeting, let me pull up this link here. So C-SPAN has it. Oh my God, stop asking me about fucking ads. So advocates testified on the civil rights of LGBTQ Americans, especially for transgender youths, before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Witnesses included 16-year-old trans girl Harley Walker, who spoke about the discriminatory laws and treatment against trans youths in her home state of Alabama. Dr. Ximena Lopez, who discussed facts concerning gender-affirming care for minors, and former University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines, who shared her experience of competing against transgender woman Leah Thomas in a 2022 NCAA championship match where she tied for 5th place with Leah. Ms. Thomas also won the 500-yard freestyle event in the tournament, becoming the first openly trans woman champion in the NCAA women's division. So this is, Riley Gaines need to shut up and swim. Yeah, like, why? Like, just, she couldn't cut it as a swimmer, apparently. She got 5th place and tied with Leah. Like, she wasn't, how can you be robbed of something if you literally tied with the other trans, like, with the trans woman? How do you tie for 5th and think you have fucking anything to say here? What was stolen from her? Yeah, remember when we taught people good sportsmanship and not being a fucking sore loser? It's crazy to me, the societal shift that we've had. And, like, I'm not going to defend any of the, like, bullshit that was done to police my behavior when I was younger. But there's stuff like, like eating, like talking with your mouth full of food, for example. Like, I am pretty annoyed when people do that. Not because I have the misophonia. Like, it's not because I hate the noise. It's because, like, it's rude. And I just am like, did we grow up in, like, different countries almost? Like, they are just, like, there's little stuff like that. Like, little stuff like sportsmanship and politeness. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, think a little bit about how you affect people around you. But if you weren't taught manners in the same way that I was, then I can see it, like, not making that big of a difference to you, I guess. But it's like, I consider it pretty rude. I hate that people think that a place where you eat is also a good way to have a conversation. I mean, I don't mind talking during a meal. Like, you can pause and, like, talk during your meal or whatever. Like, talk over your meal. But, yeah, eating with your mouth open is on a sliding scale where going to the toilet with the door open is the worst end. Fair enough. There were some good parts. The committee has a slim Democratic majority, so there were chances for, quote, our side to speak up. Right, yeah, because this says that some, like, a transgender teenager spoke and a doctor who discussed facts about gender-affirming care for minors. I mean, even the way that C-SPAN presented this, I mean, the fact that they said, like, she tied for 5th place with Leah, like, I think that that is an editorial choice that makes it seem like this is, a big deal is being made out of nothing, you know what I mean? Maybe it is rude, but they saw it as a safety thing. Can't breathe and eat at the same time sometimes. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that there are plenty of reasons, and, like, everybody... It's like the fine line between reasons and excuses, you know? It's like... Sometimes I think that, like, we do think that just because we have a reason for something means that that excuses us, and I just, like, don't know where I land on that right now. My mom had misophonia, and I eat silent to this day. Yeah, that's a good point. Paint says that they kept their ovaries because they are still important for hormonal balance if you don't want to take HRT, if you don't have access to HRT. I know another trans friend who regretted not keeping one of the ovaries, sharing that because it's important information. Yeah, if you get your ovaries removed, or your testicles removed for that matter, you are reliant on external hormones for the rest of your life, and that if you're worried about losing access to healthcare, for example, you might want to keep your ovaries, even if it might revert you if you stop testosterone treatment, you know? Cis people talking about what they think of us is very much like when white people would talk about us black people. It's, like, so objectifying, right? Like, the fact that the term blacks was so common and still is so common to this day, like, it's just so weird and patronizing and objectifying and, like, creepy. I just don't want to see someone's half-chewed food while they're talking. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it for sure. Or, like, over, if you're ever on voice chat with someone, I've had that happen on and off before, where it's like, dude, go on push to talk. Like, I don't want to hear the noises. And if you're on push to talk, specifically so that you, like, I mean, don't push to talk and then go, no, like, oh my god, dude, fucking stop, please. A Luxander shirt, gender, male, female, dragon. Yo, that would be cute. That would be cute. That would be adorable. I'd honestly rather die than live on tea, so I won't miss them. Yeah, no, yeah, you just gotta be aware of the potential health ramifications. But it's easier for you to get E no matter where you are. Because you can literally just, like, if you're really caught in a rock and a hard place, you can just, like, take regular birth control pills and be getting estrogen in your body, right? But, like, trans men don't have the option to just get E no matter where they are with very little barriers because you can just fucking get it online, you know? At least with tea, the beard, body hair, and voice are permanent. Tell that to my happy trail, Jasmine. Tell that to my happy trail. Listen, okay, I'm gonna show off more of my body real quick. Like, tell that to my happy trail that it's permanent. Where is it? Where is it? Every time I go off tea, I lose my happy trail. Anyway. The vast majority of people don't actually have black skin, and white skin is usually just people with orange skin. Maybe you shaved it? Yeah, sure, I did, Anansi. Yeah, absolutely. I shaved it. It just falls out. Asking the tough questions. Oh, boy. I was browsing Twitter, but you said, tell that to my happy trail, and I clicked back over because we're seeing tum. I really, like, I don't love having as much fat on my tummy as I do right now. That's why I'm doing my cut right now, but I do kind of enjoy just being like, I don't know why. It's just fun to do that sometimes. The belly. What's the evolutionary reason to have hair length tied to hormones? It's so weird to me. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta have a Senate committee meeting about your happy trail. I don't want my happy trail to be the subject of Senate discussions. That sounds awful. That sounds terrifying. Happy Trail Gate. Oh my god. I still think it's so funny that the literal name of that company was Ocean Gate. Like, holy shit, dude. Hello, Diaphla. Hello. I have stretch marks and I've never been pregnant and don't plan to be. I have stretch marks all over the place. Like, on my most recent set on Fansly, like, if you don't know, I post safe for work. Well, I'm mostly safe for work. Sometimes it's not quite safe for work. But I post pictures on Fansly, and recently I posted some pictures that have some very visible thigh action, and that means that you can see my, like, you can see my stretch marks, you know? Stretch marks on my legs. And I also have them, like, all on the side of my body. Like, I have these over here on the sides, you know? Like, all down my ass cheek and everything. I have stretch marks all over the place. That's part of having EDS, is that I just have stretch marks. I got big stretch marks inside my thighs and on my butt. Yeah, exactly. I think I have them on my chest, but, like, those are from, like, when I was so young that they're mostly faded now. Little stripes. Little stripes. Hit the like button if you want Luxander to go more in depth about the Fansly account. Listen, if we get to $100 more on the stream, if we get to the $200 on the stream, I will not only flex my body more, but I will show you these pictures of my ass, if you want to see those. They're usually behind the paywall for $5 on Fansly, but I will show you on stream. Give us a guided tour of the photos, for sure. I have EDS too, strongly suspect. Yeah, I haven't been diagnosed, Paint, but I strongly suspect. I mean, there's no really strongly suspect. I have a connective tissue problem. Whether that's specifically EDS or if it's just a connective tissue, like a mixed connective tissue disorder, it's for sure a thing. I was lifting weights recently, and I lifted a 15-pound weight, like a 15-pound dumbbell. Not very heavy. And I had already been lifting 20 pounds for that same workout. But, like, because of the tension of holding the thing in my hand and, like, the connective tissue in my hand, I ended up, like, pulling something along my pinky. So, like, from my wrist up through my pinky, it hurt. And I had to, like, I made myself a little makeshift splint that would hold my fingers straight, because it was, like, bending my finger that was hurting me. So I've heard about humans having stripes as well, with, like, that are, like, not something that we can see with our eyes, but I don't know if it's true. Delicious. Well, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about before we get to the talking about this protest in the UK. I can't remember exactly where it is. I'll have to look that up. But one thing I wanted to talk about first was that we're seeing some new info about where is the thingy? Okay, hold on. Mosaicism from X inactivation. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I just wanted to point this out to you for those who are unaware. COVID reinfection data based on medical billing record in Japan. The interval between infections. So wave 1 was like 16.9 months. So like, this is to say, when you catch COVID, the idea was that like you know, your body recognizes COVID from that point, and you have immunity for a while, you know? But now there are so many different kinds of COVID that it, like, if you come into contact with a new one, your body might not recognize it, so you're gonna get sick more often the more it mutates, right? So right now, it's like, wave 4 was 13 and a half months. That was like the time between infections based on medical billing. Wave 5, 10 months. Omicron early 2022, 7 months. And now this most recent wave from in autumn 22, or not, I mean, this is not the most recent wave, it's just the most recent wave that we have data on right this second, 3.7 months. So every time you catch COVID, you have a 1 in 10 chance of having long-term complications. And of those long-term complications, you know, we're talking like, can't do stairs anymore, can't get out of bed anymore, can't remember stuff, you know, forgetting your PIN to your debit card. Scary. So if you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting long COVID every time you get COVID, and you're now able to catch it 3 or 4 times a year, within the next 3 or 4 years, you will have a permanent disability of some kind. Like, you will be long-term affected by it. Yeah, quite a big chance. Not one you want to risk. Like, you really don't want to risk this. 1 in 10, and that's for each infection. Each time you get infected, 1 in 10 chance. So that's what I mean about, like, if you get multiple infections, like what I was saying before is if you were to catch it twice a year, then in 5 years, there's a good solid chance by then that you will have some kind of permanent effect from it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you should still be masking and protecting yourself. You know, one thing that I saw today was someone was talking about how they do go to restaurants sometimes, but they eat beforehand, like when they're required to go to somewhere for like social reasons. Like if friends are meeting at a restaurant, or if like your job is doing at a restaurant thing, if you go to a restaurant to be with friends or for work events, eat beforehand and mask up during the event. You should be masking indoors and outdoors. Yeah, I know, it's terrifying, right? Tell people about the risks. I subluxed my knee at a rock climbing competition 2 weeks ago. The people I was talking to were surprised that the thing I was upset about was that I had to buy a new brace when I already had one at home. Rather than being surprised that it had happened, we love the connective tissue / hypermobility disorders. Oh, like you were not upset by the fact that you hurt your knee, but by the fact that you had to spend money getting a new knee brace. Yeah, and people are like, what do you mean? You're not like upset that you hurt yourself? It's like, yeah, I mean kind of, but for the most part, not really. Like for the most part, I just am annoyed that I am inconvenienced by this thing that keeps happening to me. That's why a diagnosis doesn't really make a huge difference for someone with EDS. I mean, unless you have like terminal vascular EDS, there's not like a lot of treatment available. So like, why would I get a diagnosis if I am not going to be able to get any treatment based on that? Keep in mind that post-viral damage can be delayed decades. See post-polio syndrome, so you might be in for a doozy. Oh yeah, and not to mention that also COVID can apparently increase your risk of developing certain cancers. So who knows what the long-term effects of this are going to be. It's going to be crazy. I was looking at this information about how pandemics have a tendency to peter out after about 5 years. Like historically, when you look at pandemics, they rage for 5 years and then they drop off because basically all the people who were going to die from it have died from it in that time. Now, this only applies to viruses that don't evolve rapidly. Like the Spanish flu, I don't think, was the Spanish flu a coronavirus? I don't think it was. Was the Spanish flu a coronavirus? No. It was H1N1, which I don't think is a type of coronavirus. So coronaviruses have a unique ability to, was it a coronavirus? They evolve very quickly, right? But you also didn't have like international air travel yet, commercially available in 1918. So, but usually it's influenza. Influenza is not a coronavirus. So, yeah, so the problem is that this virus is replicating itself much faster. So you get reinfected instead of only catching it once, and then your body knows what that disease looks like, and like it lives inside you forever, and your body recognizes it. So you're just like, okay, I can fight off this disease in the future. If it didn't kill me the first time I caught it, then if I become exposed to it again, it won't be that big of a deal. But this virus, you're catching it over and over, and it doesn't just kill people, it also has the disabling effect. So in my mind, it's going to take at least 10 years before this stops being a big deal. And the reason why I even think that it will stop being as transmissible, like I think that someone like me, I do have a chance of living a normal life again. It might be another 7 years before I get to that point. But the reason why I think that it will potentially happen is that all these other people getting continuously reinfected, not only does each infection still carry a risk that you will die of it, so people will continue to die of it, which means that it will spread less because there are fewer people to continue spreading it. And then the more people who become disabled in a way that they can't leave their homes, and the more reinfections you have, the more likely you are to have severe complications, I think. Like, from what I understand, like people tend to get sicker and sicker and not like better after multiple COVID reinfections, you know? So the more you get reinfected with COVID, the more likely it is that you're going to be bedridden and unable to get out of the house. So I do think that if I protect myself for long enough, there will be a point where so many people have disabled themselves that they won't be able to like keep spreading it, you know? So that's just my opinion. I don't want to jinx myself, but I have not caught COVID. I don't think it hit my city, Edmonton, super hard, and perhaps the climate is not great for the virus overall. You can have totally asymptomatic cases and still end up with a long-term complication. Like I've heard of people having like heart scarring, even though they had a totally asymptomatic case. Like they tested positive, but they did not have any symptoms, and yet later they still developed complications. I genuinely believe Joe Rogan should face criminal charges for his anti-vax rhetoric. I think that certain types of misinformation and lies should actually be illegal. That's just me. Like, yeah, how many people are dead because they listen to Rogan? You're like lying is legally protected under the First Amendment, and I explicitly think that it should not be in some cases. You know, like lying is not protected when it's to your shareholders or whatever. But it is legal when you're like mass telling everybody a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, lying is not protected in court. Yeah, well, you're under oath, right? So it's like when you're under oath, you're not permitted. Or like if you sign a contract, you're not permitted to enter into that falsely or whatever. Hello, tea leaves. Even the remote protected island tribes have caught COVID. What the fuck? Really? I hadn't heard about that. Remote island tribes catching COVID. What? Coronavirus hits tribes of isolated Andaman Islands. They represent one of the most ancient civilizations. An indigenous tribe on India's Andaman Islands, whose population hovers just over 50 people, is now threatened by coronavirus, and experts fear uncontacted people on nearby islands could be next. At least 10 people from the Great Andamanese tribe have tested positive for COVID as of Friday in 2020. Spreading like fire. What I gathered from them was that none of them had really serious symptoms. In fact, they all seem to be asymptomatic. Those who are appearing to be ill are younger, in their late teens in some cases, and live in the archipelago's largest city of Port Blair. Damn. 28 more cases confirmed Tuesday. Yeah, because people won't fucking leave them alone. I remember when that dude got shot full of arrows, and like the memes for the next 2 weeks were so fucking good. The memes were so good. I think my favorite meme was like a spin on loss. I can't remember. I wonder if it's still in my... I wonder if it's still on my computer. Like memes. Do I got a memes page over here somewhere? I really enjoyed all of those. Like, I mean, I think that that dude fucking deserved it. He, like, tried to contact a tribe that was isolated and then got shot full of arrows. Like, the only thing that is bad is that the people then, like, touched his body and, like, dragged it around, and so they would be at risk of, getting diseases by touching his body, TBH. Like, that's the worst thing about it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it in my computer pictures. Ripperoonie. I don't really look through all my saved memes on my computer very often. Coffee is delicious, though. Oh my god. Anybody else? Coffee delicious? The Andamanese people include the infamous North Sentinelese people. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it includes them. The Andaman Islands includes the Sentinelese people who killed that guy. Nice. I think journalists should be more committed to the responsibility to provide factual-based information in journalistic guidelines, but then again, journalism currently isn't committed to that. When it comes to providing factual news reports without resorting to fear-mongering, using emotionally loaded language to vilify marginalized and racialized communities, and using cis-white fragility... I'm sure that there's more coming to that statement. Espresso, oat milk, sugar, ice. I have an espresso machine that I'm thinking about getting rid of, actually, because I haven't used it in a very long time. After a couple years of never getting COVID. Wow, the sentence fell apart there. Something, something around the same time I got the Omicron shot. I bet there were a bunch of people. There were people who were so mad about the memes because people were like, this boy was he was on a Christian mission and he was trying to share the Lord's word with these people and they killed him in cold blood. And like, yeah, people were really mad about the memes at the time. Got it last fall. What about got it last fall? What? What? I'm rejoining at a wild time. What happened? Oh, Oh, I mean, we're talking about the COVID and how the people in the Sentinelese Islands killed that guy a few years ago. And, I mean, how many years ago was that? Sentinelese killed guy. When was that? What year was it? 2018. 2018, so 5 years ago. I wish there was an internet version of the North Sentinelese people so they can take out the apologists for that guy. Michael Rockefeller? I have not heard of Michael Rockefeller. Fifth child of a New York governor. Great-grandson of Standard Oil founder. Okay. So he was killed. He disappeared during an expedition in the Asmat region of southwestern Netherlands and New Guinea, which is now a part of the Indonesian province of South Papua. Carl Hoffman published a book that went into detail about the inquest into his killing, in which villagers and tribal elders admit to Rockefeller being killed after he swam to shore in 1961. No remains or physical proof of Rockefeller's death have been discovered. Why was he there? They were in a 40-foot dugout canoe about 3 nautical miles from shore when their double pontoon boat was swamped and overturned. Their 2 local guides swam for help, but it was slow in coming. After drifting for some time, Rockefeller said to Wassing, "I think I can make it," and then swam for shore. The boat was an estimated 12 nautical miles from the shore when he made the attempt to swim to safety, supporting the theory that he died from exposure, exhaustion, or drowning. Wassing was rescued the next day, but Rockefeller was never seen again, despite an intensive and lengthy search effort. At the time, Rockefeller's disappearance was a major world news item, and his body has never been found. Okay. It was originally reported that Rockefeller either drowned or was attacked by a shark or saltwater crocodile. However, because headhunting and cannibalism were still present in some areas of Asmat in 1961, there has also been speculation that Rockefeller may have been killed and eaten by tribespeople from the Asmat village of Otsagenep. Can't say it. How much is a nautical mile? It's like a little bit less than a mile. Like 3 nautical miles. 3 nautical miles is about 3 miles. But if you get to 12 nautical miles, it's going to be more like 14 actual miles. So it's only like a marginally less than a mile. Yeah, that's pretty amusing. It's a famous missing persons case, and it's thought he's still alive at the place he disappeared at. Oh, really? He was actually a really good reporter. Well, damn. Why wouldn't he just stay in the boat? Look up the picture of him. It's thought he actually lived. Rockefeller. Images? This guy? Like, you think he was involved enough with the local peoples that he would have been able to, like, survive being accosted by them? This is something else. Nautical? True. The second one with the white guy. Like this one? I mean, aren't all of these like the same dude? Looks like the same dude, just at different stages of facial hair development, yeah? Oh my gosh. I hope he got a big hunter wife that fixed him. Hello, Christy. Welcome in. I think it's cool. Like, if he joined one of the tribes, that's neat. But, like, yeah, it's like, why... What kind of extensive searches did they conduct that they couldn't find the dude? I don't know. Oh, God. Let's get ready to talk about this other thing. Blah, 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 blah. Has Demon Mama tweeted yet about the thing? Oh, yeah, she tweeted me back. Okay, good, 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 good. I'm gonna be on Demon Mama's call-in thing later today. That'll be after stream, though. Probably like a 15-20 minute conversation, I imagine. Depending on how many other creators there are gonna be. Yes. Oh yeah, Signal is tonight. 3 p.m. PST stream start, so that'll be 5 p.m. my time as a starting time. Creator call-ins begin at 6 p.m. my time. Connecting as many wonderful communities and creators together as possible. Sign-ups for call-ins are super easy. Come by stream and let us know you want in. Yes! Yes! I am excited. I like talking to folks. I like talking to other streamers. Stremmers. Is that like tremors? But like, it's just Demon Mama in your walls, you know? She's in the walls. Streamers. We have fun. Anyway, let's get some links up for this, like, woman Suckerpunched thing, so that we can get it out of the way. Get it out of my way. Out. Tremors, but without the last 4 embarrassing movies. Listen, I never even saw Tremors, actually. Never saw Tremors. Oh, let me change this, actually. Am I gonna change this? I'm about to do an actual segment. Is this gonna actually go on the channel, is the question. Yeah, I'm just gonna, yeah. There we go. I'll show you the secret pictures from my fansly of my bum in booty shorts if we get to the stream goal today. But, I already flexed for you. I already flexed. Showed Tum. I showed Tum earlier. You missed it. Unlikes the stream now. RIP. So, yeah, let's get to talking about this section of the stream. Boop, 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 boop. I have retweeted so many things this week. There have been so many things to tweet this week. Oh, here's an interesting thing that I just thought about recently. Have you ever... Fake news... I did show Tum! I did! So one thing that I just thought of this week that I thought was interesting and I wanted to share, I tweeted about it. Have you ever considered that the government is making money off of the increased taxes related to inflation on products? Like when you go buy groceries, right? You know, right now, if you're paying $5 for something that used to be $3, they're gonna be... Sorry, I tried. Yeah, nope. See, I have a bad memory, but you can't take too much advantage of me. Yeah, so we like pay taxes. Like if you, let's just say, I don't know, you pay like 10% taxes, just to throw out a number. You were previously paying like 30 cents of taxes on the $3 item, but now it's $5, and so you're paying 50 cents for the tax on it. So like, no wonder the government doesn't want to regulate prices, because they make additional money in like a proportionally increasing amount every time prices go up in the grocery store. It's like pretty fucked up and annoying, actually. I just thought of that and thought it was stupid, and I wanted to share something that I'm mad about. The government bad, shocker. Yeah, but it's just like the duplicitous... It's like, yeah, why doesn't the government want to control inflation? And it's not just because they're buddies with the guys who own the companies that make the food and put them in the grocery stores. It's not just because of that. They do actually directly benefit in the form of increased tax revenue, which they then don't funnel back into the community. They're gaslighting you, Lux, but I agree, show more Tum. If we get to the goal for today, I will show more Tum, okay? Okay? I'm trying to incentivize donos. Like, I'm objectifying myself to incentivize the donos. Maybe ass is not. Okay, Tum. We'll show Tum. Oh my God, Max. Max, thank you. Yeah, booty, booty, booty. Okay, I will show booty and tummy if we get to the stream goal for today. How about that? Jesus Christ. Thank you. Jiminy Christmas. I have an idea about where some money could come from, but the billionaires won't like it. Yeah, the millionaires won't like it, the billionaires won't like it. To be fair, I'm doing an ethical gaslighting? Oh, gosh. Is there such a thing? Is that really how that works? By the way, the way U.S. stores declare prices is strange. Like, in the sense that we don't tell you what the price is gonna be, like, you just find out at the end. When I'm going through my groceries, I'm like, okay, I just add, like, 50 cents or $1. Like, I just round up constantly anytime I pick something up. I'm like, okay, this, like, the cost said 69 cents, so I'm just gonna call that $1. For, like, like a cucumber. I made Greek salad recently. Oh my God, Greek salad is so fucking good. Wow, Greek salad is good. Maybe a weird question. If you want, I can super chat it if you don't answer now. Are you afraid your voice will become too deep? Am I afraid that my voice will become too deep? No. I'm honestly, the thing that I'm most concerned about is that there is a dissonance between my voice sounding deep and like coming through this nasally quality. And it's really hard to relax that part of my voice that makes it sound so nasally. So if anything, like, I wish that I had more control over the parts of my throat that like increase the resonance in the back. Because the thing that I actually don't like about my voice is how squeaky it sounds. No, I'm not concerned about having a deep voice. I like having a deep voice. I like being able to sing deep songs, right? Yes, I know in most other places tax is included in the price. Hot take, I hate feta cheese. It tastes so bitter. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I had made a really super tangy dressing, so a lot of the taste that I was getting off of it was like white wine vinegar plus olive oil, you know? Anyway. Oh, I'm on Blue Sky, by the way. I don't know if any of you are on Blue Sky. I'm just at luxander.bsky.social. Everywhere else I've ever been, it just tells you how much you'll be paying, including the tax. Yeah, America like to fuck you over. They enjoy fucking you over. It's like a thing that they love to do. They're big fans of fucking you over. Had some avocado toast. I don't love avocado toast. It's just like textures that I don't want to be together. Or maybe the flavors were just off the one time I tried to make it. I like to eat just a straight up avocado. I'll just cut up an avocado and like salt it and just eat it with a fork. Just, it's yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This section of the stream is gonna have some blood in it. And I regret that that might be upsetting to some people, but I'm telling you now that this part of the stream is gonna have some photos that might be upsetting to people. I like avocado on breakfast sandwiches. I've never tried that. But it's like, you really need something crunchy to offset how fatty and squishy. And like some kind of acid can be good to cut through the fattiness as well. I love toasted tuna salad and guacamole sandwich. Ooh, okay, that sounds interesting. I'm in a no sales tax state, but we make up for it in income tax. Jesus Christ. I'm still trying to pay off my income taxes. I think that I'll be able to do it with like the money that I've already gotten off of GoFundMe, and then like I'll probably have the rest of it in the next few months. So, but man, still pretty annoying. Okay, where's the other link that I had? No, it's not Icarus. It's actually not. This is a trans woman who got hurt. I just put woman sucker punched twice at anti-trans rally because I thought that that might get more people in than saying the trans woman was hit. I'm trying to eat whole avocados more. I like it with lemon or lime, garlic, and pepper. Ooh, avocado on black bean burgers is a good combo. I don't think I've ever had a black bean burger. I'm on curry recently, y'all. Curry is shockingly easy to make. It's so fucking easy, especially if you cook some like onions. You get the onions started, and then you like get those kind of going and like start to get them to brown, and then you put in your garlic, and then once the garlic has started to go a little bit, then you can put in like your spices that you're going to use and toast your spices. Keep some water on hand so that if the spices start to stick to the pan, you can just pour some water in and deglaze the pan. Like that, the water will like knock all the spices loose, and you just keep it moving. You keep it toasting a little bit, couple minutes, and then you just fucking throw in like, oh, I guess if you're using tomato, you throw in the tomato at the same time as the garlic, but I don't always like to put... I've only made curry twice, so I don't have a favorite recipe yet. It's just, I just throw shit together. This is how I cook. I have to be very careful with acidic foods. Yeah, for sure. So I don't always want to put tomatoes in my curry. So yeah, you just like, once you get the spices toasted, then you throw in your chana masala, like you throw in your chickpeas or your chicken and just cook it. And like, it doesn't take very long and it's delicious. I made it during the middle of the day the other day though, and that was a regret moment. My house gets really hot, and so my air conditioner has to run like a lot. And I used the stove and like made chicken curry in the middle of the afternoon the other day, and it made the temperature in my apartment go up by like 3 degrees. Like my whole house was so hot. So I kind of have to wait and not cook food during the day right now, so long as it's going to be 90 degrees outside. Now I want chili. I've never made curry, but it made me think of chili. They are... curry base flavors are pretty different from base flavors of chili. However, you do use cumin and chili powder sometimes in curry, depending on what kind of flavors you're going for. So, I mean, I guess it's not... I'd cook the protein first to use the fats. Yeah, I mean, I made chana masala. It's not like chickpeas. Chickpeas don't really have a lot of fat in them. Just throw it all in and watch the food dance. Yeah. And there's my food. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Yummy. I'm hungry now, so see you all later. Yeah, sorry, Anansi. I actually didn't eat before stream today, but I'm not terribly hungry. Curry equals Indian chili. Well, yeah, when I make chili, I cook it for a lot longer. Than I cook... Oh, did someone... Wait, why did the message just pop up? I don't know. Stunlock? Listen, food is yummy, okay? Food is delicious and yummy. What's the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean? They are... Oh, nobody ever paid me to have a garbanzo bean on their face? Yeah. True. Kitty Rose, thank you so much for the 44. Tum and booty. Okay, well, I just... That's what I'm gonna do now. I appreciate all of your lovely donations. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all who wanted tum, we're doing tummy now, okay? If you don't want to miss it, it's time for tummy. Yeah? Okay. So, here's tummy. Can I get it all in frame? Okay, here's tummy. Hello, are you ready? Tummy reveal? Let me make sure my pants are not falling off. Here you go. Okay, tummy. Tummy. Yeah, there's like, it's like flat, and then there's just this. And I can go like, blah, 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 blah. Tummy. I don't really have stretch marks on my tummy, which is good, because I kind of don't want to have stretch marks on my tummy. Chubbies. Eeny me. Hold on. Nah, it doesn't work very well. And I will also show off one of the pictures from my private Fansly set, which you can get access to this for $5 a month, or like $5 a month. But I'll show it to you now because I said I would. Where is it? I don't really show off pictures of my ass super often, but this was a This was a special occasion. Yeah, I guess there's 2 different pictures. Yes. Yes, 2 different pictures that I can show off. What is happening? Just called 2 brothers, 2 pictures. What am I doing? Okay, now I figured it out. Okay, are we ready for booty? Ready for booty? Now it's booty time. I don't even think this is the better of the 2 pictures. I think this picture is the better of the 2 pictures. This one. This one is definitely like probably one of my favorite pictures I've taken of me. It's like, oh my god, you can see the thigh here being squeezed by the elastic band, but that's like, it's like, damn, look at the ass. That was crazy. Fishnet for the win, also true. That's a semi-decent picture, but honestly, like, it's just hard to beat this picture. Anyway, thank you everybody for your donations. Appreciate you. The booty shadow. Yeah. Exactly. The thigh squish. Absolutely. The noms. It's the squeezies. The squishies. It's like the fact that that's one of the enticing things about photography is like the showing how objects interact with the thing. So like objects being wet, it shows you like how water interacts with that object and gives you an idea of its texture and stuff. And so also, like something like the squishing of the thighs by like the clothing that you're wearing. I think that that's like a similar thing where it gives you a sense of feeling, like a tactile impression of what the object would be like. In this case, the object is my fat ass. I gotta love how 4 hours of streaming about politics is nowhere near as effective for raising money as tummy shots. Those are weird. I mean, just whatever works, you know? Like, we do hard-hitting politics and then have a break for me to go like, ugh, and like flex my muscles. It's fine. Anyway, we're having fun. Let me change this now. I'm just gonna have it say goal now so that when I do this actual segment to post on my channel, it's not clear that I was showing off my body. Yo, what the fuck? Somebody just went through and bought like 50 bucks of my post on OnlyFans. Guess my breakup snacks are funded now. Mama, listen. High five. That was a high five. That was me high-fiving you. Nice. Excellent. I got the brain and the bronze. True. And the fat ass. Listen. Okay, what am I trying to do here? I am trying to get some links open. Ah. Yes. Yeah, humans are dirty. Y'all are dirty. So gross. Can't believe you. Despicable. People have paid me 400,000 in WoW Gold for an offhand for some reason, even though it's literally data on a server. Yeah, but the 40k, the 400k in WoW Gold is also just info on a server, so I don't know. In before YouTube being weird about fully clothed pictures or tum. We'll see. Yeah. 400k is directly tradable for at like 15 USD. Yeah, I don't know. $15 for an offhand? What's your stance on the whole Leah Thomas and Riley Gaines trial? Has there been an actual trial, Bellyman Boy? We were just looking earlier at the fact that Riley Gaines spoke at this Senate Judiciary meeting, but I didn't see any information about about the trial, I guess. Like, I guess you can't post links in the YouTube chat, even though I specifically told it that it should allow you to post links in the YouTube chat, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay. We're gonna talk about the fucking title thing, alright? I'm working my way there. Or, like, if you have a specific aspect of it that you want my opinion on, Bellyman Boy, I'm super willing to give it. I'll even wait before I start my next segment for you to tell me what you want to know about it. I'm looking over my notes now, though. I've got my links ready to talk about this. Where was this, though? Anti-drag protest. Community of Lewisham. I think Lewisham is the name of the town here. Should Leah Thomas be allowed to continue to compete after judiciary hearing, despite whatever results may be? Yeah, so we haven't yet watched the Senate Judiciary Committee meeting because it's 2.5 hours long. I would be interested in watching it potentially. So, but should she be allowed to continue to compete? I mean, yeah, she should be allowed to continue to compete because she's a woman and she is female, according to, like, most measurable aspects. Like, she does not compete as well as she used to when she was, yeah, that meeting was not specifically about Leah Thomas, but Riley Gaines did speak about it. There was no trial had. Yeah, I didn't think there was a trial. Like, maybe, I thought that maybe someone tried to sue Leah Thomas or something along those lines, because I know that there have been lawsuits related to the sports issue, but, yeah, so, like, I mean, my question is, why shouldn't she be allowed to participate? If your issue is that she's too tall, well, then do you also think that Gwendolyn Christie should not be allowed to compete? Like, hold on, Leah Thomas height. Gwendolyn Christie. Gwendolyn Christie height. Like, Gwendolyn Christie is 6'3", and Leah Thomas is 6'1". So if your issue is how tall she is, then Gwendolyn Christie is even more disqualified from participation in sports. If you're asserting that there's a difference in bone density, then actually Leah Thomas would be at a disadvantage for swimming, because the more you weigh while you're swimming, like, the more you're at a drag disadvantage. Like, drag meaning, like, your ability to get through physical objects with your body. Like, she's at a disadvantage if bone density is your question. Like, the assumption that she has greater bone density anyway, but we don't test bone density for athletes, so we wouldn't know if someone's relative bone density gives them a huge advantage. Like, we don't know what any individual athlete's bone density is, and you can't just discriminate against people based on assumptions about averages of bone density, or like, oh, her heart is bigger. Like, well, okay, like, again, do you test the size of hearts? Is this your, like, if this is your problem, if, like, size is your problem, then what you want is weight classes. What you want is height and weight classes. You don't want males versus females, or, like, males versus males, females versus females, because you're always gonna have people who fall outside of whatever range of, like, acceptable testosterone levels, or quote-unquote, like, whatever your issue is. Like, there are always gonna be people who fall outside of those averages, and it's fucking sports. Like, sports is not fair. Like, Michael Phelps, with his freakishly long arms, he gets like Olympic medals and stuff, and nobody bitches about him being like a fucking mutant. You know what I mean? Genetic investigation always segues into race science as well. Yeah, like, when the normative ranges of testosterone are established, they are testing white people, and then sometimes black athletes fall outside of those normative ranges because they weren't, like, nobody based it off of normative ranges for black people. So if some female black athletes have testosterone that's outside the range of what is considered acceptable because it wasn't even based on their averages, then suddenly they can't compete anymore. You know, this has affected numerous black female athletes at high levels of competition. Like, the idea that they have to nerf themselves physically, like, or if testosterone levels are your question, then sure, maybe white women just can't compete against black women, And like they're maybe white women are naturally inferior in sports because they don't have enough testosterone. I'm just making shit up, by the way. So like maybe in order to preserve white women's ability to win, they like just aren't even allowed to compete against black athletes. But then it's like a whole separate but equal thing. And it's like, really, ultimately, it just feels like putting the black women in their own category. But like, I don't know, again, there are a number of different ways to address this problem. And like just splitting it up male versus female is not like really ideal. They don't test white female athletes because black athletes are always the ones under suspicion and getting tested for some weird reason. Racism. Yeah. Physicians find so many ways to justify racism. Exactly. Gotta ban Shaquille O'Neal too. Yeah, he's too tall. It's not fair. So like, yeah, I mean, sports isn't fair. Like, it's not an equal playing ground. Unless you, like, only let in people who are this height, this weight, you know, this level of testosterone. Like, you don't have a right to win. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the right to win. You have the right to compete, but you don't have the right to win. It's not about winning, it's about having fun. Not at this level of competition. Like, if you have like college scholarships on the line and things like this, it's certainly not just for fun. But I do think that we should maybe try to think of maybe sports and music and all these kinds of things as being fun, maybe. You cannot beat Michael Phelps with infinite training. He just has longer arms. But he's allowed to compete. No one said, get that freak of nature out of here. He did get in trouble for, like, smoking weed or something, I think. But, I mean, that's not, like, performance enhancing, so... Unless the performance that you're doing is, like, sitting on a couch, eating chips. Okay, burping. Delicious. Yummy! Oh my god, I really didn't even... I don't even think I internalized that Gwendolyn Christie is 6'3". Like, oh my god. She's beautiful. I love her. Like, just look at this picture. She's so fucking beautiful. It's insane. I love women. I kind of understand what Natalie Wynn said in her video where she was like, her realizing that she was attracted to women and like the way in which she was attracted to women being different from how she was attracted to men. And she's like, yeah, I mean, men are attractive and everything, and I can identify features of them that are attractive to me, but then I see a beautiful woman and I'm like, oh no, this is going to destroy me. It's like, oh god, yeah. Okay. Ugh. Let's start talking about this serious bullshit, alright? We gotta talk about the serious stuff. Okay. We've been covering anti-drag protests, anti-drag laws for the past year or so, and these issues have also been going on in the UK as well as the US. Just lots of animosity toward trans people. And there was, you know, the stabbing of Brianna Jai a few months ago, a transgender teenage female in the UK who was just killed and like stabbed to death based on her being a trans girl, like her being a trans woman. So, you know, sometimes I think of the US as being sort of uniquely bad. It is sort of uniquely bad in that the gun culture here makes things significantly more immediately dangerous. You know, like getting stabbed is one thing. You can die from it, obviously. Getting shot is a little bit different. You can get shot multiple times faster than you can get stabbed multiple times. There's a proximity issue with getting stabbed, you know, like, so I generally think of like, oh, the US is worse. But in terms of the violent intent toward transgender people, it's at least as bad, I think, in the UK as it is over here. And so I'm gonna warn you before we continue further into this, there are going to be photos that may upset you because there is going to be blood in the pictures. We are going to discuss a woman being attacked at a anti-trans protest, like counter-protesters there, a journalist getting targeted at one point. But like in particular, we're going to be looking at photos of a transgender woman, as far as I know, a transgender woman who was bloodied. Her face has been bloodied. So I just want to warn you before we get into it that is what we're going to be looking at today. So breaking, again, content warning, we're hitting it out. It's time. Breaking, fascists attacked trans counter-protesters protecting children attending a drag time story event in Honor Oak Pub this morning. This is in the UK. The fascists grabbed people and began attacking them, breaking the pub window and causing serious injuries. I believe this woman is named later in the thread, but her face has been bloodied. And fascists broke flags to pieces and began launching them toward people, including our reporter Jess O. Thompson, who we will cover in a moment. Fascists told protesters that they would, quote, kick the shit out of them unless they relinquished their flags. So we have a broken window of the pub here, and we also have a broken flag stick on the ground, which I'm assuming is like it got thrown at the thing, I would guess. The fascists turned up early this morning and after initial jeers at the trans protesters, crossed the street to start attacking protesters. So they were initially across the street from one another, and then the fascists decided to physically enter the space of these trans people and incite violence against them. Fascists picked out individuals to target and threatened to follow people home, stating that they would physically attack them. One protester was grabbed and beaten, receiving serious injuries to the head and face. Another protester was grabbed and pulled over a barrier and stomped upon. Another was beaten around the head, breaking their ear. Police were absent from the scene. So there was a protest happening, and the police just were not there. They just simply were not there. Update, police are now on scene and targeted trans protesters whilst providing urgent first aid care. This same woman, Ada Cable, was providing first aid support and was punched across the face by TSG officers trying to arrest someone. So this same woman was hit twice, like she was beat up on 2 different occasions. I think she was one of the people that the fascists grabbed, and then she was also punched by the police. So police entered the fascist anti-drag crowd and have arrested one of the fascist protesters. Fascists are now attempting to spread themselves in small groups in the surrounding area. Police say they are unable to take much action because it is a public space and people have freedom of movement, but they understand the concerns of the counter-protesters. So we're just going to be completely fucking useless. Just going to be standing around. Yeah, this is why I yelled "fuck you pigs" at the cop section of the Pride Parade yesterday. They don't deserve to be there. So despite the violence this morning, the community of Lewisham has rallied together to take to the street. This banner is from Southeast London Love. People are defending their own communities against fascist hatred and violence. It says South London is anti-fascist. At the suggestion of Ada, we're reminding you that our TSN reporters are all volunteers, but trains to London do cost money, so here's how you can support the Trans Safety Network. And to clarify, Ada was attacked twice today. First, she was attacked by street fascists when police were entirely absent, and then later, again, the police hit her while making an arrest. And additionally, the journalist Jess O. Thompson, she was injured while reporting yesterday, is now being threatened further with violence. So she said, "I am a journalist who was there this morning reporting as I was terrified. As you can see from even this selectively chosen short clip, the fascists were the aggressors. They crossed the road to attack the trans group. They were shouting." And someone said, "You aren't nearly terrified enough, it seems." And this is not unique. Like, she's getting more comments like that. If anybody wants to see what flavor, despite being a journalist, this is what I'm receiving. In all seriousness, if the trans counter-protesters had not protected me yesterday, the fascists would not have discriminated on the basis I was a journalist. I would be in hospital or worse. So she is just a journalist, which journalists are not supposed to be there with like an ideological goal. They're not supposed to be there with a bias. I mean, that's the idea anyway. They're not there to say, "Hey, I'm supporting the trans protesters." As a journalist, you're there just to observe, to write down what's happening, to record what's happening. Journalists are supposed to be protected. this is like a United Nations, like, it's a war crime to harm journalists because they're doing their job. They're not participating in a war effort. They're just reporting on what's happening. So it's considered like pretty egregiously not fucking okay to attack journalists, to kill journalists, to be violent toward them. Although this is a reflection of how things are going with public support for trans rights in Britain. Like, it's been on a downhill since 2018. The fight over trans rights has become increasingly prominent in recent years. I guess a YouGov poll at the time showed that the majority of the public disagreed with this decision of excluding conversion therapy at trans people from its ban on the practice. Like, yeah, the public standing on the broader trans question, there is a gradual overall erosion in support towards trans rights since 2018. In some areas, the shift is quite pronounced. And this is fueled by a media sensation, right? This is just gonna keep going badly. It's always gonna go this way. Exactly, Charlotte says, police will kid glove with fascists and make things worse for us. Like, a woman who had already been attacked that day, and you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna punch her in the face because she's getting in the... She was administering first aid to someone, so, she was punched in the process of them trying to arrest someone, but why were they trying to arrest someone right next to where someone was giving first aid? Like, something about this just is not adding up in a way that makes it seem like it was... I mean, negligent at the very minimum, if not intentional. But, like, my inclination is to feel like, yeah, I just kind of think that it's intentional. Like, I kind of think that you just hurt people on purpose. The irony being that London is one of the most accepting places for trans people. Yeah, like, what does that say about the rest of your country if London being the most accepting place still has shit like this happening? It is completely intentional. The laws being created show how little they care about trans people. The cops and the fascist groups are an extension of those laws. They use the law to attack us and use the law to help them because they have a goal, and it is our elimination. I mean, yeah, I had thought that it was a little bit more abstract in the UK, but it's pretty for real. Like, it's pretty serious. Attacking medical personnel is also a war crime. Yeah, for sure. I hope she sues the absolute fuck out of that police department. I don't know how it works in the UK. I don't know how it works with police brutality and, like, whether, like, do they have qualified immunity in the same way that we have qualified immunity here? Like, the system is always going to be skewed toward the police. Like, in any investigation, they're going to be focused on how we can make sure the police look good at the end of this. Could be at least intentionally careless, which is functionally no different from just being intentional. Fair enough, Riley. Yeah, intentionally careless. Street thugs and cops are the same thing. Can't argue with that, honestly. I feel so much. Like, I used to think, oh, wow, you know, at least in the UK, they mostly just have to worry about the lack of access to medical care. At least it's mostly safe there. But no, it's not. Like, it's a small country, and the more, like... they have a smaller population, so these things represent a greater number per capita every time they happen. Every time a trans person gets brutalized, it is a greater number per capita in that smaller country. So it's proportionally, it hits the community more strongly in those places. How do I send images? I mean, you have to send a link. Like, you have to upload it somewhere that it can send a link in. And I also can't really give you a clear idea of, like, how to protect yourself in the UK because I don't know what the laws are there. Are you even allowed to carry pepper spray? If you are allowed, you should. Are you allowed to carry a taser? If you are allowed, you should. Are you allowed to carry a knife? If you are allowed, you should. And, like, not only... I mean, carrying a knife, you gotta be careful because it can be taken away from you. So I guess if you are gonna use a knife, train yourself on how to use it correctly. I've been saying for years, listen, hear me, learn self-defense of some kind. If you get a gun, learn how to use the gun appropriately. Like, learn how to use it correctly. If you are going to get a taser, you should know how to operate it safely. Link? Which chart are you talking about, Spirit? Because there's several in here. This article is so long. You could right-click the image and click copy link, or like copy image maybe. No weapons are allowed legally. Is pepper spray considered a weapon? Well, you can learn physical martial arts. Like, that, at the very minimum, if you're not allowed to carry a weapon, then you are allowed to learn, like, a little bit of martial arts, right? I think that if you have access to that, you should. This is one of those things, like, we need to, like, pool our money together. Let's pool our money together to send one person to the martial arts training, and then they can teach everybody else what they are learning. Like, I don't know what to... Because there are barriers in place, right? Like, it's not... I can't just say learn martial arts because that costs money. The first big chart showing acceptance across all minorities. Half of Britons say prejudice against trans Britons is a major or significant problem in Britain today. So, like, Muslims, Roma, and travelers, those are the highest. Black people, disabled people, trans people. Public opinion is that these people are being prejudiced against quite a lot. So yeah, for sure. Pepper spray, tasers, etc. are all banned. Learn how to punch good, then. Learn how to punch good. Had the stream recommendations channel, Corpse Candy. I look in there, I mean, not every stream, but I look in there when I'm like, okay, is there something that you all have in mind that you want us to suggest for a topic? So yeah, stream recommendations is the channel in there. Just become a Taoist monk and go to Nepal and become a hermit. Truly. Like, at a certain point, are we gonna have to secede from society? Like, it's not like the best option, but it seems to be the thing that a lot of people want to do, because it feels like, how are we gonna change any of this? I don't know if Florida's gonna have Pride. I mean, we're almost done with June, so at this point it doesn't seem like there's... Like, any major Pride events will have probably already happened by this weekend, you know? Let's make our own planet somehow. Yeah. Let's just shoot ourselves into space and go to a new planet. Let's just take Earth and crack it in half. And send them all off. Rainbow Moon Colony. Oh my god, where am I? Let's make a gay Matrix and live there. Like normal Matrix, but even more gay. I mean, it truly does feel like we just live in totally separate countries right now. Like, this is what Aaron Reed's map looks like as of today. And it's, like, terrible. Like, it's, like, look at how much of this country is in, like, worst active anti-trans laws, you know? The gay tricks. We need to get to Mars before Elon. No. We need to send Elon alone to Mars with a very small team in a spaceship that was made by Tesla. That sounds great. Honestly, things just keep getting worse. I feel so much dread, and I am so sick of screaming into the void. I feel you, Mama. Like, for sure. It's really tough. And I don't exactly know what the answer is, except, like, continue to work on building community and self-improvement. You know, keep making yourself more physically capable of handling these challenges. Make sure you're still, like, eating and sleeping and taking care of yourself. And also making an effort to establish community. I mean, I'm always really hesitant to really try to establish community. For a long time, I wanted to leave Kansas, and now I want to stay here, but I feel like I have to leave here. So it's like, well, why would I start trying to build camaraderie here and risk getting doxxed, like having my location doxxed because I start participating in local protests or whatever, and then so my safety is compromised, and then I'm gonna move away anyway? Like, I don't know. I don't really advocate for jokes and memes about billionaires dying. I'm not a fan of retributive justice. It's not retributive justice. Those are two totally unrelated ideas, Christy. Like retributive justice is a system by which we impose punishments on people. When your own hubris kills you, like when you hoard your wealth, like when you harm other people by hoarding your wealth, and then you spend a lot of money doing some stupid, clearly dangerous shit, and then you die, that's funny and you deserved it. And like, to be clear, like I keep seeing this post going around that's saying that it's not just jokes. Like, I don't even really think that it's just jokes about billionaires dying. We are actively engaging in like humiliation and hatred toward them. It's not just jokes. It's class warfare. They deserved to die. Except for the 19-year-old. The 19-year-old did not deserve to die. The rest of them, if you have $250,000 and you spend it on going to a submarine thing, the fact that you have that money and that you have enough other money that you're willing to spend that money on doing something stupid and dangerous, you deserved to die. It was a Darwin Award, if nothing else. Yeah, if Musk doesn't want to be laughed at, he can just stop being evil. That would be great. But yeah, I don't know. But also, Christy, you missed the part of the stream where we were making fun of that guy who got shot by the Sentinelese. I mean, Christy, you were probably pretty young at the time, but back in 2018, there was a white boy who was a Christian missionary who went to an island of like remote people who were mostly uncontacted, and he landed on the island with his boat, and then the people like shot him full of arrows and dragged his corpse around the island and stuff, and that was very funny. Oh, was he actually Asian? Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad. He was Asian. And was a Christian missionary? Okay, but it's weird to, quote, want to hear their screams in their last moments if there was a black box. That was a real tweet. Yeah, I mean, I understand the vindictive urge, and maybe that's like a unique thing about me. Have we seriously been at 70 viewers, just constant 70 viewers for the last like 20 minutes? Because this number has not fluctuated. And I don't know if it's because YouTube is lying to me, or if we've just held rock hard steady at 70 viewers. Like the stream really quick if you're here and you haven't liked the stream, by the way. I doubt they had time to scream. Yeah, like that's the thing. They probably probably died so fast anyway. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that if you have fucked over the planet and hundreds, if not thousands, of other people in your climb to wealth, then like, yeah, I understand the desire to hear them scream in pain. Like, I don't know. I can understand the sentiment, and they're billionaires, so I don't care. Like, the idea that we should have empathy for everybody is, I think, just like a very, very flawed premise. Did I miss the headline? Just barely. You just barely missed it, Soy Boy. If you take it back like 10 minutes, you'll probably find it. Vengeance and vindictiveness is also cultural. It's hard to get away from, especially if you don't have a mind to. Like, I don't know why I should refrain from being vindictive in this situation, you know? Like, I think it's okay to indulge. They were vaporized by the air being pressurized faster than the speed of sound. Yeah, Hank Green, my dude Hank Green had a little thread about it that we can read really quick. Oh my god, this is a funny tweet though. They say God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. He gave me super treatable early-stage Hodgkin's lymphoma because he knows I'm a lil baby. Oh, love Hank Green. Can we talk about how fucked up missionaries are? Missionaries need to be jailed. Right, I just don't think that's cool. Okay, I'm trying to find this one tweet. Hank Green, Hank Green. Okay, here we go. So we're used to thinking about explosions, not implosions. The thing is, they are the same thing. They're rapid changes in pressure. An explosion is when a solid or a liquid becomes a gas very fast. The gas takes up way more space, and so it slams into everything nearby. That doesn't really seem very dangerous, but it is. Molecules are molecules, and getting hit by a bunch of fast-moving gas molecules can do just as much damage as being hit by a bunch of fast-moving truck molecules. It all depends on the speed. So the pressure hurts you in two ways. The brute force can implode your lungs, break your arteries, separate you from other parts of you. The pressure wave can also carry things such as shrapnel that concentrate the energy. Understanding the inside of a submarine during an implosion is easier if you try to imagine recreating it on land. To create such a massive difference in pressure between the inside and the outside, you would need to surround the sub with explosives, all of them pointing inward. If the sub imploded, anything on the inside would experience the pressure shock, and that would hit within milliseconds of even the tiniest failure. The pressure of the air would hit first. The same amount of air molecules, suddenly compressed to a much smaller space, would push hard on anything soft. Not like being hit by an explosion from one side, but rather being trapped in a small sealed room with a bomb. You would be hit from every side. The air heats up as the molecules collide more and more with each other. The pressure is what would hit hardest though, like getting crushed by a car on every square inch of the body at once, over 5,000 pounds per square inch. Death would be immediate. The heat might also vaporize some water, though you'd need a lot of heat at that pressure, increasing the pressure further during the instant of the collapse. I just did a very basic calculation, and the air might be squeezed enough to form plasma. This pressure and heat wouldn't just instantly stop a person from existing. I think it would instantly stop any cells from existing. There would be no time to know it happened, and there would be nothing recognizable left. The area would be sterile. As someone said in my mentions this morning, it would be like trying to find a grape in your wine. But honestly, it would be more like trying to find a candle in the air after it finished burning. At this point, what happens with the shrapnel submarine parts is pretty moot. What's gonna happen has happened, and it happened faster than a thought can go from one side of the brain to the other. It's difficult to imagine the energies in question here, but the ocean is very, very heavy, and ultimately, implosion and explosion are the same thing, big, fast changes in air pressure. So basically, like, they were instantly vaporized. Can you explain more why empathy for everyone is flawed? Because if you have empathy for everyone, like, I think that it's easy for you for that empathy to be taken advantage of. Like, you can be emotionally manipulated by having empathy for people who don't deserve it, essentially. Like, you can be convinced that you should be less harsh on someone. For one example, like, I just don't think that everyone deserves that kind of energy from you. If someone, like my mom used to beat me when I was a kid. Trigger warning, I guess. And, like, on some level, I can understand that she had her own issues. She was dealing with whatever, such and such. Like, I recognize the areas in which she was struggling, you know? But, like, if I try to imagine in my mind standing over a child and beating them, like, I'm thinking of myself when I was, I don't know, let's just go with 8 years old. Imagining myself as a little 8-year-old child and my mother towering over me as she beat me. I have no empathy for that. Like, I can't even imagine being that person who does that. Like, it is so disgusting to me that I just can't have any empathy for her in general. And she doesn't deserve it, IMO. Like, I don't really care what she was going through. She doesn't deserve my empathy. The more softly I think of her, the more likely it is that the next time she tries to infiltrate my life, which she does periodically, I'm even skeptical when my family members try to get in touch with me. Like, her dad messaged me not too long ago, and, like, I do want to message him back a little bit, but also, like, I am worried that if he learns anything about me, he's going to tell my mom about it, and I don't want her to know anything about my life. So, like, I have to have pretty solid boundaries in place, and, like, even thinking softly of my family members, even thinking that my family members have the best for me in mind, could result in me being exploited or damaged in some way further by this abusive person in my life, right? So, yeah, I mean, I think that having empathy for some people can be actively a bad thing. Empathy is a social contract. I naturally feel it for everyone, but if you demonstrate that you do not deserve it, I will withhold it from you. Right, like, the idea that I should respect everyone. Like, I do, by default, respect people. And then if they demonstrate that they are unworthy of respect, like by disrespecting me, for example, I'm not going to cry over that spilled milk or whatever. You know, like, I just don't know why I should feel obligated to be kind to people who are harmful to me. And a billionaire is harmful to me. The fact that I don't have enough money to, like, save up and feel confident that I'll be able to pay my taxes next year without asking for additional help, like, that billionaire has harmed me directly, even though there's, like, a lot of steps and, like, a lot of middlemen in between those forms of harm. So I guess if you're being accurate, you would say, like, they have indirectly harmed me, but, like, it's so immediate in my life that it feels personal and direct, you know? Like, the fact that someone is a billionaire, like, that's a personal attack on me and all working class people. One of the things I hate is that people think morality is a requirement of being human when it's a learned skill that we can lose from injury no matter how moral we want to be. Most sociopaths actually legitimately hate that they don't care about morals because they objectively know that their evil actions ruin themselves and others' lives. Excuse me, I'm so burpy today. Like, so much of our justice system assumes we all have equal agency over our actions when most of our actions are a result of things outside our control, including what our morals form as, and how poverty is the basis of most crimes. Well, so yeah, poverty is the basis of a lot of crimes, and morality is weird, but morality is, like, part of our evolutionary development. It's not like morality is abstract. Like, morality, if you are not pressured to be immoral, you do have an inherent moral sense. Most humans do anyway. We evolved one, and like, it is natural to feel sensations of unfairness and sensations of equality and, like, the sensation of empathy in that regard, right? To be a billionaire, you have to inherently believe you are better than others, believing that you deserve to have money you don't need, but others don't deserve resources to live. Right. Like, how can you sleep at night if you're a billionaire, knowing that there are people who went to bed hungry that night, knowing that there are children who went to bed hungry that night? Like, how? Moral consensus is objectively beneficial, but most morality is more about social norms than they are about any actual ethics codes. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I'm going to refresh this page on YouTube. Oh, okay. No wonder. Wow, you know, it would be really great if YouTube didn't fucking randomly log me out when I'm literally in the middle of a live stream. Crazy. But cool, hopefully my concurrent viewers will start updating now. Like, literally, I'm in the middle of fucking streaming, and it was, like, just not telling me when there were new people coming in or people leaving. Wow, great. I mean, yeah, because, I mean, we don't really have consistent ethics codes. So I would not say that morality is based on ethics codes, because it is based on, like, some kind of social agreement. Even monkeys have different, different cultures, and, like, different species who live in different areas have different norms. And a species a male from a different group comes in and starts acting like this other group with, like, all these competitive behaviors, and then that shit gets shut down, you know? I would not say morality is based. Morality is very unbased. Truly. Someone I follow on Twitter said, how full of microplastics is cum? Terrible. Has anybody been seeing all these conversations on Twitter right now about trans joy? Who started it? I saw Casey Miller tweeted about it. Oh shit, I can't remember their... Oh no, I can't remember Casey Miller's new @. It has the word dyke in it, but I can't remember what it actually is. Buck Angel was asking people about it and quote tweeted Poppy's response. Did Buck Angel start it? Because, yeah, I saw Casey Miller posting about it. Like, imagine hating people so much. Oh, that Poppy. Oh, I don't know why I thought, wait. I thought Polly. Okay, I don't know why I thought you said Polly. My brain just fucking lost it. So Poppy got retweeted. I didn't realize that Buck Angel paid attention to small accounts like us. Oh wow, that's crazy. But he was a huge cunt about it, basically. So Buck Angel had said, what the fuck is trans joy and queer joy, #cult. And Poppy said, being trans is a joy, getting my SRS is a joy, getting to feel my partners inside me is a joy, getting to be bent over and bred is a joy, seeing myself after 3+ years of transition is a joy, watching how turned on my fiance gets about my body is a joy, and a million other examples. And then Buck said, interesting and thank you. So is being trans the only thing that gives you joy? Is that why you transitioned to be trans? Or do you have gender dysphoria and needed to transition in order to be joyful? Just, yeah, like... Yeah, fellas, is being happy a cult? I love trans joy, so why the fuck are transphobes talking about it? Right, I mean, because they say... Because they're saying, like, oh, this is a cult, and, like, they're selling you this idea that being trans is gonna make you is gonna fix all your problems and make you happy and take away all your problems, and, like, all of your depression is just gonna go away. They think that that's how we talk about transition. Like, they think that that is the thing that we're doing, is, like, telling people all your problems will be solved if you only just started taking the girl titty pills. It's like, dude, I think Buck just fucking hates himself and hates being trans, so it's impossible for him to imagine that there is, like, a certain flavor of joy. Like, trans joy doesn't mean that that's the only thing in my life. Like, and it is a specific type of joy. So I could be like romantic joy. Like, if I go on a date with my partner, we have a really great night and we get along super well and we have great sex, I could be like, I have romantic joy right now. But romantic joy isn't crushed and quelled in the way that trans joy is, like, not allowed to have. Is, like, does this person also, like, does Buck Angel also get mad at the phrase black boy joy and black girl magic? Like, these are phrases in the black community, like black boy joy, because this is a group that is not allowed to feel joyful on a normal basis. Like, in most other contexts, yeah, you're supposed to be shamed. Celebrating joy for a thing we've been told for so long we've been shamed for. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, the idea of trans and queer joy feels like it mostly rose out of focusing on the good parts of being queer and trans in contrast to all of the LGBT phobia. Yeah, exactly. It's a response. It's just like pride. Like, attacking trans joy is just like attacking gay pride. Natalie said something about, yes, she transitioned to achieve the same level of dysfunction as everyone else. True Scum's mad that they get no joy because all their friends are right-wing grifters who hate them. They're jealous. Jelly, 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 jelly. You hadn't heard the phrase queer joy or trans joy before recently? But yeah, it's like, good for them, that's nice. Instead of, yeah, this must be a cult. Pride is the response and resistance to shame. Exactly. You're, like, literally even the concept of gender dysphoria is that you have to be miserable in your trans identity. Oh, okay, black girl magic or black boy joy. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I followed like a black man parenting channel a little while ago because he was like, these are how I have the hard conversations with my young black boys about police and like talking to strangers and things. So yeah, black boy joy, black girl magic. I honestly have my own little critique of that dichotomy because to me it's like, okay, well, but why about like not black girl joy? Like black girl magic kind of implies to me like her being magic is more of like a benefit to the people around her than it is to her as an individual. So I have my own little criticism of that. Very heterosexual framing, very binary, very cisgender framing. But it was just some normal family that I was watching the videos of this dude talking about his parenting and stuff. So yeah, I didn't know about it really before that though. I went out Friday, I felt good about my body and how I'm interacting with people, all kinds of things. It was a joy, no matter if there were some people looking at us funny. Yeah. Being yourself and being able to express that and loving your own body. It is... I think it might be because of the rhyming scheme. Black boy joy might just be like a rhyme. But I do think that it is like a little bit sexist, TBH. Yeah, but like, I think that must be the reason why they're so upset about trans joy, is that because they assume that we are using this as a way to seduce people into being trans, when in reality what we are doing is trying to inoculate against all of the harmful ideas that sink in. Yeah, is it trans to be happy? True. Trans joy is difficult without community, because otherwise it's all about assimilation. I mean, that's fair. Like, trans joy, I feel trans joy the most when I am, like, able to share it with other trans people, you know? Like, I don't even know that I feel trans joy around cis people at all, which is, I guess, not great when you're married to one of those. Has anyone been following the Jordan Peterson case of pronouns, etc.? Oh boy. Oh god, why is this an hour and a half long? Court summary. There was a dispute between Dr. Jordan Peterson and the College of Psychologists. So is he actually in trouble now, somehow? He is still around. I mean, mostly I've been seeing him on Twitter. My trans femme fiance on the phone the other day just went, I have boobies, and she was so excited about them all over, and OMG, it was the cutest thing. Yeah. I just, you know, I think when I have a dick, I'm just not gonna be able to stop talking about it for quite a while. Like, I'm gonna be like, guys, suck my dick, dude. And then I'll be like, actually suck my dick, though, and I'll stand up and I'll show you my, like, my dick all propped up. Like, when you first get the dick, you're not allowed to let it, like, fall over. You have to keep it at right angles to your body, you know? So it's gonna be all, like, in a cloud of gauze, like, propped up. I'm gonna be like, suck my dick. Just all the time. I will probably also say things like, lick my nutsack, even though I'm not gonna have one. You don't even have your dick yet, and you can't stop talking about it. I know! I know. Maybe it'll wear off after the first, like, year that I have it. I'll be like, okay, now I'll stop talking about it all the time. I would very much understand if you kept talking about it all the time. I'd be like, listen, like, my whole body has changed. It's crazy. I feel a bit guilty for trying to cater to civility with cis heteronormative people a little bit, but they're like 99% of my town. Yeah, I mean, that's what we've been talking about, some with like passing and stuff. Like, it's one of the things that sucks, that you have to assimilate and be normal, otherwise you will be attacked. Like, you don't really have the freedom, like, you don't actually have the freedom to your own self-expression if you are subject to violence. Like, you functionally don't have the freedom, even if, like, yeah, assault is still illegal, and so if someone assaults you because you're dressed like a faggot, then, like, you know, you did technically have the freedom to do it in the first place, but they also, to some extent, had the ability, if not the explicit freedom, like, assuming that they get prosecuted like they're supposed to, like, that someone else can, like, beat the shit out of you for expressing yourself, and that you then have to deal with, like, a punishment of that person process that doesn't even stick, and that, so, like, it would have been better in the first place if you hadn't dressed like a faggot, you know what I mean? Like, so that can be really tough to deal with, you know? Me thinking about, you know, I'd love to have, like, a queer bumper sticker on my car, but I won't, because, or at least not something that's recognizably queer, because even though I live in a relatively queer positive area, I don't want to attract attention to my car. And I don't want someone to, like, see my car. I don't know, what if someday I go to a movie, and, like, somebody sees the thing, like, on the back of my car, and then they wait for me in the parking lot, and, like, so my car has just drawn attention to me, you know? Like, do I really have freedom of expression in my own country if I don't have the freedom to put a fucking bumper sticker on my car without worrying about someone, like, smashing my windows in? And then when you tell the cops, they're gonna be like, shrug, I don't have anything to, like, I can't do anything about it. Unable to stop talking about your dick, you say you're anti-assimilationist, yet you want to act like every single cishet guy. I know. Like, I'm gonna have to do some of those, like, horrendous dick pics where it's like, you, like, the camera is, like, under your dick and shining up, and you're like, you can just see your, like, double chins in the background pointing down at it. Like, just the absolute worst dick pic angles possible. It's a rite of passage. I deserve this. My advice, put your flags on the inside, then it's a cool, happy car, queer car for your eyes. Yeah, that's fair enough, mama. I mean, that's, like, I don't have any flags displayed close to my windows in my apartment. Like, in my house, in the house that I live, I don't put trans flag outside or queer flag outside. They're not near my windows. Like, if, like, any of my windows that have the ability for people to see in, which not all of them do, but, like, my windows that have the ability for people to see in, I don't put my trans stuff right there in the window because I don't want to attract attention to myself, you know? My flags are suspended over the AC vents so they flap in the breeze. Hi! Hello, Amy. I hope that you're feeling well. I hope that you slept good. I hope that you are recovering and resting in anticipation of, like, the next thing that I'm sure you're gonna get yourself all involved in. We saw that we raised, like, over $1,000 yesterday for the rainbowpassage.org, which is amazing. As I understand it, that was, like, that's at least one person that you'll be able to extract with that money, so that's fucking amazing. I had a lot of fun. It was a good time. Slept for 12 hours. Yes, you deserved it. I wear t-shirts with trans slogans written in a heavy metal, a spiky heavy metal font under a denim vest. It's my favorite battle jacket has queer slogans written on the inside, celebrating stealthily. Yeah, like, people are gonna take the time to, like, squint and try to read your metal band t-shirt. People are just gonna assume that it's a metal band and not look at it. In my area, I wear non-binary shirts and always have someone liking the shirt. Ooh, hell yeah. Yeah, 12 hours is some good fucking sleep. That's a solid amount of sleep, for sure. I just ate 5-day-old fried chicken and a pack of gummy worms, and now I have heartache and stomach break. Oh no! Oh no! I haven't figured out what I'm eating for the rest of the day. I should probably figure that out at some point. Oh, I have some, like, ground beef. I could eat spaghetti! Spaghetti! Oh my god! I don't eat spaghetti very often because I ate spaghetti not too long ago and I threw up the next day, and it was just a really unpleasant time. Spagooter! Mom spaghetti. We love it. I just want a mountain of garlic bread. Yo. How do you make garlic bread, Corpse Candy? Like, what kind of bread do you use? Food again, why not? Listen, I love talking about food. Food is such a joy. I'm sorry to anybody who has an eating disorder who tries to hang out here, because I'm sure that that's probably triggering, but I'm not gonna stop talking about food, because I love cooking. It's one of my interests. I have a they them shirt with the non-binary colors, and since I love metal so much, everyone thinks it's a metal band. Oh, that's awesome. Five Guys? What about Five Guys? Five Guys in a row? I've had Five Guys before. It's fine. It's fine. I do whole wheat bread, vegan butter, and Violife cheese, and of course garlic, etc. Yeah, I do have some. I have some wheat bread. I guess, yeah, just like butter, a little bit of cheese, and some garlic. Oh man, that would be really yummy. Garlic bread sandwich? Girl, what? Garlic bread sandwich? What do you put in the sandwich? You make the garlic bread. So do you like make the garlic bread and then you put the garlic and the cheese part on the inside so that the dry part is on the outside, but what do you put inside the sandwich? I want to know. Five Guys in a row? Yeah, you like that, Lauren? I remember Xander Hall talking about getting Five Guys and he skips the fries. Five Guys are made with peanut oil as opposed to other places, right? They're one of the only places that makes them in peanut oil. I think that they were fine. I've only had Five Guys like one time though. Two pieces of garlic bread with spaghetti in the middle. Oh, listen, I think if you got the bread crunchy enough, that would be yummy. Like, oh, actually, that's an interesting idea. Like a sandwich, like a spaghetti sandwich. I don't know. Like, I think it would work best if you had a really extra crunchy bread. But, I don't know. It's carbs on carbs. But I was already like, okay, you eat the bread, like, concurrently with the spaghettis. I don't know. I think that would be really interesting to try, though. I would be willing to try it. Yeah, gourmet. Just did dino nuggies and crinkle cut fries. Oh, I gotta hate crinkle fries. I wish I liked crinkle fries. I went to Raising Cane's recently and was like, wow, this chicken is amazing, but fuck these crinkle fries, dude. Please do better on the sides here. I'm vegan, but I've stopped at Five Guys just for those damn fries. The fries are the whole reason to go. They dump extra in the bag. They just dump so many fries in there. So much potato! There used to be a place here that had spaghetti pizza on the menu. I think that would be yummy. That could be yummy. You get, like, the nice golden brown top on it. Ooh. Not a Mermaid, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. They said, let's talk about dicks, baby! I still have this on my desk from the other day. Dicks. Dicks. I think this is actually, like, the smallest possible size that I can get with phalloplasty. For, like, almost, like, basically... Well, actually, it's stretched out a little bit. I can make it longer. I can make it longer and skinnier. See? Now it's longer and skinnier. I could have made it probably in... Well, I couldn't have made it in different colors because I didn't have access to different colors, so... Anyway. Crinkle fries are amazing. They're just not that good. They're just not that good. I refused to go to Five Guys with my ex because she hated the Cajun fries. She just wanted regular fries. What's the point of going, even? Here's something that frustrates me a little bit, y'all. When I am trying to get a food, and I'm like, okay, I want fast food, right? And then I'm like, okay, what's around? And it's like you've got, like, Whataburger and, like, Burger King and Wendy's and McDonald's and fucking Culver's and In-N-Out. And it's like, they're all fucking burger places. Like, they're just all like, burgers and fries, and maybe some of them have a chicken sandwich on the menu. Like, capitalism breeds innovation. Wow! Yeah, we're starting to get Whataburgers lately. It's kind of a new thing, but yeah, we're starting to get them now. Yeah, we need some more fast food gyros. Why isn't there a sushi fast food? Because that would be a like food-borne illness nightmare. There's a grilled sandwich restaurant in my city. Okay. But, like, that's a restaurant. If you're trying to get something fast, okay, there's Taco Bell. Or maybe Taco John's. But there's not, like, that many options for stuff that's fast. I mean, your weenie is not necessarily going to be teeny if you get a phalloplasty, you know? It can be fairly large. I'm currently eating some ramen noodles, a barbecue bourbon pork chop, and having a glass of cheap wine. Probably a total of $5 worth of food, but it's damn good. Oh, that's nice. I've been forgetting to get ramen noodles. I should get ramen more often. Lux, are you sponsored by Five Guys? If not, you should be, because I am wanting it now. Some food place should sponsor me. Just send me free food, and I will talk about it. My area has a surprising variety of restaurants. Well, if they don't have a surprising variety of restaurants that offer takeout, that's not really useful to anybody with sense, TBH. I want to make some beef stew. Beef stew is good. I got some good poke and other Asian bowl places. Ooh, okay. I guess Hawaiian Bros is starting to be a little bit more common. There's a perfect burger joint in Seattle to sponsor you. It's called Dick's. If I live in Seattle someday, when I inevitably move there, I guess, quote unquote, I'll be able to hook up that sponsorship. I could see Lux with a restaurant. Fuck that. No, of course not. I would not do a restaurant. Are you kidding? Restaurants are terrible. Like, it's a terrible business. He's 5'1", and anything more than like 3 inches would look monstrous. It's better than you think it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna pressure anybody to do something. Greek fast food. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to make that Greek salad later. Oh, I work for Postmates and I deliver for a lot of places. That's why I'm telling you. Ah, I see. That makes sense. And most Dick's locations don't even have a dining area. It's just a drive-in. Perfect. No faster way to kill your love of cooking than getting into restauranting. I've never worked in food service and I never will. I will violently reject the premise of working in food service. I just have no desire to do it. It's a terrible idea. Is there any subjects that we should go over as we start to wind down a little bit? Signal night is tonight. Looking forward to talking to mama later. Fuck food and retail. Yeah, I mean, I just am not super keen on working food service. I've avoided food service even when I've worked retail, you know? The train derailment? Was there a train derailment? Mama's doing a creator call-in tonight. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've worked retail and I still personally think that food service is like torture. I saw a post one time that said, retail is psychological horror, whereas food service is jump scare horror. They're just two different things. Train derailment in Yosemite. 10 out of 10 would make Luxander some ramen and some beef stew. Last time my brother was in town, he asked for extra bags at Dick's so that when he went back home, he could use them as gags to hand friends a bag of Dick's. Somewhere in a box right now, someone gave me some penis-shaped candies in a bag, like a little Ziploc bag, you know? And they were like, here, I gave you a bag of Dick's for Christmas or whatever. And it was very sweet. There's a lot of boba bars around my area. Oh my god, I love boba. It's so yummy. Later, Luxander. Call soon, then Five Guys. Later, Sisukara. Yeah, I'm going to be ready to wrap up here pretty soon. Gotta visit Seattle and get some dicks. Gotta visit. I was planning on visiting this year, and I just don't think that it's like a fiscally responsible decision to make. My mother-in-law invited me to come see her in Illinois, but I'm like, I don't think I'm allowed to take off that much time. Like, I don't think I can take off that much time from streaming and still have money at the end of the month, you know what I mean? But we're doing better. I'm like, because I'm working consistently, I'm saving up a little bit and I'm able to pay off these taxes, so. Yes, Mama's not going to be streaming until, yeah, she said 5 p.m. 5 p.m. my time. Travel stream? I guess so. I could make a little bit of money traveling, but I mean, yeah, it's still a 27-hour drive to Seattle from where I live. So that's kind of crazy. Train derailment. Yosemite. I'm not seeing any recent news. Yeah, I'm not seeing any news about this right now on a Google search. Minnesota train derailment. Oh, here, is this from, are you talking about back in March? Oh, okay, that link didn't work. The articles have been taken down about, like, I'm finding some, like, Google links to stuff about something in Yosemite Park. Okay, here's one. Oh no, this is East Palestine. Okay, weird. Oh, in Minnesota, not Yosemite? Did somebody else say something? Fox News being objectively propaganda against trans people. Oh, is there something new that Fox News has done? Yeah, train derails in northern Minnesota at the end of May. Derailment of train carrying hazardous materials in Minnesota closes highway, but there are no signs of leakage, officials say. Well, at least there's no signs of leakage. That's good. Yosemite Soda. AP is suing Fox News over it. Oh. I hadn't heard that. There was one that went into the river just the other day. Why, like, train derailments? Now that there was that one train derailment, there's just, like, constant news about this. Fox News accused of altering AP and Reuters stories to incite anti-trans rage. Fox News is being accused of altering the content of Associated Press and Reuters stories that the network republished on its own website to inflame further tensions among those opposed to trans people and their access to medical care. Fox News has altered the language of these pieces, including in at least one case a direct quote. Fox News writers often use the terms sex change or sex reassignment instead of, quote, gender-affirming care. The former has been deemed outdated by LGBT activists, advocacy groups, and the AP itself. The group also found that Fox News often removes or changes the words care and medical care while reporting on the health needs of trans people. For example, Fox altered a quote from an Oregon state senator to make it more appealing or off-putting to its readers. According to critics, Fox News' use of AP articles without disclosing the changes hides the real impact of legislation removing treatment options for trans youth. Findley had said in one article, parental rights will not be ignored regarding minors seeking abortion and gender-affirming care. The same AP article was posted on foxnews.com, but they changed the words to say, quote, parental rights will not be ignored regarding minors seeking abortion and sex reassignment care. Like changing a direct quote. News organizations use wire services like Reuters and AP to repackage content according to strict ethics regulations established by the companies. Reporting altered to change its meaning or accuracy violates both Reuters and the AP's rules. Customers have the ability to adjust AP headlines and stories as long as the changes do not impact the accuracy or facts of the AP journalism. Quotes are not meant to be altered in keeping with AP standards. So that's pretty satisfying, I guess, that they're going to be, that they're being sued, and because they're very clearly making, unacceptable alterations. So that's neat. Oh, I see what you're talking about here. Okay. Bridge collapse launches freight carrying contaminants into Yellowstone River. Okay, I see what you're talking about here. A freight train has caused a fright in Montana after derailing into the Yellowstone River following an overnight bridge collapse. The bridge crumbled and sent portions of the train, including some cars potentially carrying hazardous material, plunging into the water below. There is no immediate threat to Yellowstone County. Precautions are being put in place. How do you know that there's no immediate... How do you know that there's an immediate... Okay, whatever. The cars were shuttling asphalt and another substance that officials are working to identify. What do you mean, working to identify? Just call the company and be like, what the fuck was on this train? Why is there any work to identify outside of one phone call? Holy shit, dude. Described them as, quote, slow-moving and not spreading much. You mean in a river? In a river that's flowing actively. Like, oh, we're not too worried about the spread. It's gonna be slow. It's not gonna go very far. Residents have been told to conserve water, and treatment plants have introduced emergency measures. The train crew was safe. Boat ramps and fishing spots downstream were shut off by the wildlife department. It's crazy how often this is happening. Yeah, they fired everybody who would answer the phone. Fair enough. Mystery substance. Definitely ominous. Unfortunately, lawsuits have become so common that a large company like Fox can easily pay the fines and continue to do what they did. It would be great if we could see them bankrupted by their, by all these lawsuits. Like, that's what I would love to see. Like, they can't keep making money forever. They just got rid of Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson made them a shit ton of money. Like, there's no doubt that there are some people who, like, watched Tucker Carlson's show as their main thing on Fox News, and now that Tucker's gone, they might be like, oh, why is this Caitlyn Jenner bitch on the Fox News network? Like, oh, they have Caitlyn Jenner, but they fired Tucker Carlson? Like, fuck them. Like, I honestly think that might be part of what loses them some of their viewers. Like, I would not be surprised to find out that, like, some of their viewership had dropped since they dropped Tucker from the network. So, I mean, they're gonna run out of money eventually. If they keep getting lawsuits, if they keep having to settle out of court, if they keep losing their star guys to, like, sexual harassment claims and stuff like that, like, you know, it's gonna be rough. Mystery substance is the secret ingredient in Coca-Cola. Cocaine is not a mystery substance, okay? We understand it pretty thoroughly. It would be great if some of the Fox... Yeah, if the Fox viewership was transphobic enough to hurt the bottom line, it would be great. Keeping my fingers crossed for Fox News bankruptcy. Fox News bankruptcy. Excuse me. Excuse me. Twitter is officially, like, a thing that I use for my job and, like, not something that I use because I want to now. I just do not use Twitter for funsies. It used to be a place where I would just post my thoughts and stuff, and I liked it for that, but I don't. Oh, no evidence of a lawsuit so far? Okay. They're just being, scolded, I suppose. I've been, like, using Tumblr a little bit more lately to post, little personal things, I guess. Grimace's birthday is being celebrated for the first time this month, despite the fact that he was introduced 52 years ago. I posit this is because he is 1 year old, but on another planet. Specifically, an unknown planet between Saturn and Uranus, which each have revolutions of 29 and 84 Earth years. Yeah, Grimace is from a secret, unviewable planet. Jenner is a secret agent. Oh my god. She's just really stupid. Just a really dumb person. So you call it urine ass instead of your anus? Uranus? Yeah. What's up, Planet 9? My housemate's got an inflatable grimace. It lives in our basement now. That's horrifying. That's terrifying. Oh, we are so close to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes? Hey. Hello. Wait. What does my microphone smell like? What is that? I don't know what that smells like. Anyway. We're so close to getting 100 likes, though. Eat the mic. Nom 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 nom. ASMR nose smell sound stream. Yeah, this is the whole stream. It's like when a dog snuffles on your ear, you know? It's like... And you're like... Just... Oh boy. I'm sure it's someone's kink. Oh yeah, for sure. Puppy stream. Someone get me a puppy mask. Get me a puppy mask. And I will do it. A whole ASMR stream. New sub sound? No. Let's not. Oh my gosh. Martina Navratilova is coming on Lance Armstrong's anti-trans team. I don't know Martina Navratilova. I will get you a Donnie Darko mask. Donnie Darko? What is Donnie Darko mask? I'm familiar with this by name, but I not know what the mask is. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's spoopy. It's spoopy. She's a famous tennis player. Of course. It's like... Caitlyn Jenner is gonna be the only transgender woman that they talk to in this series of videos that Lance Armstrong is doing. I will bet money that that's the only... A transgender woman who did not at any point in her life participate as a female. She was 100% male, like 100% testosterone, 100% dick swinging in the fucking short shorts, like 1,000,000% did not participate as a male, or sorry, as a female. So like, why the fuck would she know anything about transgender women participating? She literally didn't transition until she was in her fucking 50s, so... I love my browser extension that blocks blue checks on Twitter. Sometimes I recognize a name as the feed goes by. Just blocked Nikki Haley, yeah. Doesn't she compete with women in golf or something recently? Okay, sure, like something that is, like, super not athletic. Not to mention she is the most bad faith POS for any trans-related topics. Yeah. Like, of course, if you transition at age 56, then, you know, you're gonna have, like, a certain attitude about kids transitioning. Like, you managed to, you literally, like, pulling up the ladder after you. You succeeded in your entire life by pretending to not be trans. You got all this crazy money. You got away with fucking manslaughter. Yeah, she's rich. Like, she has so much resources now. And, like, fuck everybody else, I guess, apparently. Terrible human being. But we knew that. We knew that already. It's not a surprise. Oh, she's being hypocritical because she uses her platform to say trans women shouldn't compete while she also is competing against women in golf. Of course. No one says being rich should prevent you from being in sports when being rich is an objective advantage. Right, like we were looking at that article that was looking into the difference between men and women's participation and competence in sports. And men do better in sports not because they are physically more capable, but because they have more resources for men's sports training. So yeah, women who don't learn how to do things at as young of an age, who don't have the proper coaching, who don't have the proper equipment, they are just not going to perform as well because they don't have the funding. So yeah, literally just having access to money makes you a better sportsman, because like if your parents were able to afford to get you the proper training when you were young enough, yeah, men are also encouraged to do sports. You're not working against the mental barrier of being told that you're not supposed to do sports. Remember when Caitlyn Jenner ran for governor of California? Oh my god, I didn't remember that. I've completely blacked that out, apparently. Was she going against the Arnold? Was she going up against him? I saw an article that said in the United Kingdom, 5-year-olds are shorter than in other places because of the cost of living crisis. Right. What's up, Ela? Welcome in. You know, I met an 18-year-old trans man who was like this short on me and he was 18, but he was like in and out of homelessness as a kid. So he just never was gonna grow. And it's like, by the time you're 18, you're not gonna grow anymore. Or like not much more anyway. Even if you suddenly have access to food and everything. Tim accused the Majority Report of playing his song with bad audio to make it sound bad. Brought it up later during an unhinged rant. And when Emma called Tim out on how the neo-Nazi mass shooter liked his show, he asked if Sam Cedar put her up to this. Emma Vigeland's debate against Tim Pool. No, I did not see that. It does sound funny, though. The clips I've seen, every single one is Tim being the most mangry little baby, and Emma is just, like, stone-faced giga-chatting the whole time. Maybe it would be worth watching. Vigeland. Tim Pool got destroyed on his own show. It was actually so one-sided. He even had a goon on and still lost. Rip Tim Pool. I've never watched Tim Pool's show. Is that an episode that's worth watching? Just to see him absolutely fucking meltdown? Like, Tim Pool, Emma Vigeland. Oh yeah, Ela Davina had a lot of fun. It was a good time. It's like 3 hours long. Oh, I didn't mean now. I didn't mean now. I just meant, like, is it worth listening to in general? Like, I'm gonna get off stream and, like, probably make myself some food and do some dishes. I watched an episode, like, when they had Vosh on or the Yee episode. Holy shit, dude. The sneezing, wow. Ugh. So, oh, Hassan has a video. Who is this? Oh, this is just from the damage report. Yeah, I'll have to look up this. I think it'll be funny to listen to. Is there a VOD on the Surf channel about it, maybe? I was in one of the early morning panels as well. It was fun to be part of it, even my small part. Yeah, I'm not great at being an actual organizer in the background. I'm great at being a mouthpiece. And so that's what I try to do. That's what I try to offer people. Is like, yeah, I have a little bit of a platform. I can talk real good. That's how I can help these movements. So, the Surfs channel, maybe? The Surfs. I'm the opposite. Yeah. You have a lot of skills that you can give, and you're not as much of a speaker. It's like the main thing that I do. I'm so good at talking. It's been 3.5 hours right now, and I've just been talking. Talking. Okay, I'm looking for the VODs so that I can have them later. Where are the VODs? God damn it. Okay, I'll figure it out later. I think it's an autistic thing. I can also talk for hours. I'm genuinely curious about you making an ASMR since watching this with good headphones. I made an ASMR video, like, years ago. I don't know if it's something that you would still be interested in, because it was from such a long time ago, and it was with a different microphone. Wow, I was very skinny. Maybe I don't want to direct anyone to watch that video, because I don't look like myself at all. Ugh. My partner loves your earrings. Thanks. I'm gonna be taking them off as soon as Pride is over because I don't actually like wearing these anymore. But it's nice for June, you know? Okay, this is a clip. We have one clip. What is this? Whoa. I need my headphones. Headphones!
Grifters. This is what you do. I can invite you on for a real conversation, and what do? Your show's for neo-Nazis. This is why you guys don't get invited places. Because you're not having real conversations.
I don't really care about getting invited places.
Yeah, right. So go live in your grifter echo chamber where you guys can play songs with bad audio and then say, whoopsie, grifters.
Did they actually pitched her down for no reason? Something you don't see much of at all is the medical world supporting trans care, speaking out against these anti-trans movements. I mean, there's plenty of doctors who have gone on, like, my doctor has even gone and, like, spoke in front of these meetings. Like, these, judiciary meetings and these committee meetings, like, there sure are doctors coming in. Toasty! More ASMR teas. I didn't know that people were still into ASMR. It was like a brief thing. Oh, goodness gracious. The AMA and Pediatrics Association both recently condemned the attacks. I mean, the people higher up in the medical world, the researchers, etc. The researchers are not higher up in the medical world. Researchers are, like, pretty low on the totem pole as far as, medical authority. It's like the heads of the organizations are gonna be the ones who can speak on the issues, you know? ASMR just triggers rage for me. I'm sorry, Captain Cougar. I'm so sorry. I don't actually know if the whispering comes through at all. My microphone is made to pick up human voices, so I don't actually know how well the whispering works. Let's do a tarot reading, yeah? Let's do what do people want to know about? We're winding down stream. We're about to leave. This is how I end stream. If you don't want to hang out for the tarot reading, that's fine. We're just having fun. Whispering went through very clearly. Okay, good. Good to know. Do we just want to do a one card? We'll just pull up one card and see maybe like how the beginning of our week is gonna go. Will I ever find love? Oh my god, true. Future background changes? What about background changes? Like, I don't really love this setup, by the way. I just like, I mean, it's fucking working. Oh, pick a random tarot card and it becomes a background inspiration. Yeah, I don't, my birthday is March 27. What if you did something like that wreath in this background, changes periodically? Yeah, I mean, yes, that would be ideal. Yeah, I don't know. I set this area up so that I would be able to relax on it. And so I do still use this area to relax sometimes, like occasionally. There's like a big fucking beanbag chair, like right here. And there's which means that because there's a beanbag chair there, it's functionally my couch. Like, it's kind of hard for me to like put other stuff back here, like a table. Will I ever get into the depths in Rito Village region? Oh, it's really easy. Do you want me to tell you what to look for, Andes? Or I can tell you who in the game will tell you how to get in there, if you would rather that. Yeah, exactly. I already have a big beanbag. Uh-huh. Okay. We have 6 of swords today in the upright position. So here's 6 of swords. That's what it looks like in my deck of tarot cards. 6 of swords. What does that mean? Swords has to do with intellectual ideas and, like... Swords background, I know. Yeah, Andes, okay, here's your options, Andes. Do you want me to tell you who in the game will tell you how to get there? Or do you just want me to tell you how to get into that area? Because I can tell you. Let's see. Where's the major, minor arcana stuff? Swords. Swords represents intellect, yeah. It deals with matters of the mind and can be frank and brutally honest. So 6 of swords tells us, moving forward often means leaving something behind. The 6 of swords indicates the moment when you take your first steps towards moving on and starting over. This decision requires mental fortitude over troubled emotional waters. This card may also indicate far travels and missing those who cannot go with us. Once you have addressed this loss, you can fully enjoy and appreciate your journey. This is a positive sign, alluding to a moment of personal strength and agency. Well, this is some good news. This is quite nice. I mean, it's a positive sign. I recently got a card that was like, this is an indicator of good luck. And I was like, dang, that's awesome. So this is about having mental fortitude. Our emotions are troubled, but we are able to use our intellect to take the first steps toward moving on and like starting our next project, starting over. Maybe this means that we're gonna have to leave people or places behind. Maybe we're gonna have to travel far away and miss those who can't go with us. That's definitely hitting hard as far as the like being trans and maybe needing to leave the country thing. So, ding dang. This feels positive for my pride group in town. Yeah. So we do a little tarot. We enjoy doing a little tarot once in a while. A little cold read. I haven't yet done my tarot and journaling for today, so I'm probably going to have to find time to do that between now and doubt we'll ever need to leave the country. Amy, with respect, speak for yourself. That is it's a personal risk assessment. Like, it would be great if we didn't need to leave the country, but we're going to start seeing some, like, movement toward passing laws nationally, so... Where would you go that isn't also going through fascist uprising? Yeah, I mean, I'll just kill myself, I guess. That's probably the solution to the problem. Anyway, I am ready to eat some lunch, I think. So I am gonna make some curry, I think. I mean, it's like the thing is that, like, I don't actually believe I need to kill myself. It's that you're poo-pooing on my idea right now. You're like, oh, where would you go that isn't also going through fascist uprising? I'm like, okay, well, maybe don't like try to discourage me from doing things that I think are going to keep me safe. Like, yeah. It's like, yeah, if I'm going to like just be like, yeah, I'll stay here, even though it's quite dangerous, like maybe I'll go to an individual place in this country that's a little bit safer. Maybe. That's the ideal thing to do. But I mean, yeah, it seems like we're all kind of a little bit fucked. And that we're going to have to just start community and hope that that helps a little bit. So I think that as a friend, or as someone who would like to be friends, I kind of think that you using like, we do this thing where we get into like this it feels like it's super acrimonious really fast. Like, I don't know. I'm hungry though, and I'm realizing that that's making me a little bit reactive, so... Chicken curry. Lux is indoctrinating into the chicken curry. Yeah. It's like, yeah, other places are fascist, and some places are less fascist. Like, I don't know, Ireland seems like it's less fascist. I know some people are moving to places like that when they can. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't love this country, and I don't feel safe here, and I just want to, like have that. like that feeling like there's somewhere I can go that's gonna be better maybe. Lux indoctrinated me to want Five Guys earlier. Listen, it's Smuggy Chat. You guys are making me want Five Guys, except it's in the other way. I gotta have some Five Guys and then Five Guys immediately following that, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go eat that curry and maybe lick some asshole or something. I don't know. Everybody else enjoy the last bit of Pride Month that you have, and enjoy getting railed in a sundress, or however you feel best you're gonna celebrate that. So, thank you everybody for hanging out with me for the last few hours. And yeah, how long do you think sanctuary laws will last? That's the question. That's truly the question. So, all right, I'm gonna leave. Good night. Good night. Don't get in trouble or don't get caught, or do get in trouble and get caught. Doesn't have anything to do with me. I didn't